Welcome back to Ironfang Invasion once more in Book 6. We have a bit of a opening agenda to take care of at the start of this session, so I'll keep the recap a little bit brief here. We left off last session with you all having addressed all three of the different nexuses that were powering the spell effect being conducted in the Onyx Citadel, the spell that will eventually rip the vault out of the plane of Earth and deposit it above Galarian, above the countries of Nirmathos and Malthune. Doing so bought you some time. You have a couple days now to work with to try to end this spell once and for all. It also shut down some of the defenses that were enacted or enabled in the Onyx Citadel. Things like fire damage for everybody inside, or things like energy resistances for everybody inside, or DR for everybody inside. Each of the nexuses was keyed to a certain defensive trait that the people in the Citadel now no longer will have, which will help out quite a bit in your battles to come. You cast the teleportation spell while you were in Stoneholm, viewing the area with the sands, the archive there, looking at all the different places that you could potentially teleport into. There were maybe 8 or so choices, but each of them had their own pros and cons, and ultimately you decided on the little ingress balcony on the second floor. And so you cast teleport, and we ended the session with you guys bamfing into the Onyx Citadel once and for all, and me mentioning that you all leveled up to level 17, which brings us to that agenda that I mentioned. We can each go through all of our cool 7th level stuff before we get going. And just so you all know, yes, I said that you leveled up at the end of the session, but it would have been like the day before you got here. So you do get your 17th level stuff. I'm not going to be like, haha, you have to rest here now to get all that. And I'm not going to do that. But so we can go through in the order that I see everybody on Roll20. So Sarah, what cool stuff did Kieran get at level 17?
Sure. So Kieran took another level in sorcerer, and that brings his caster level up to a whopping 14, which means I do get 7th level spells, which is pretty exciting. I knew that was going to be my cap. So with that, I now do gain access to my bloodline spell, which I had technically gotten in prior levels but couldn't use, and that is Form of the Dragon 2, which is like Form of the Dragon 1 but a little beefier. So now I can actually be a large-sized dragon, not just a like medium-sized dragon. So a little bit bigger, maybe a little more intimidating. And then I took, I have 2 other spells. One of them I'm keeping secret until the time comes because I'm really excited about it. But the other one is mass invisibility because I feel like that might be helpful for what we're about to do. So that is something I think will come in handy very soon. Other than that, I did get a bloodline feat this level, so I took power attack from the Draconic Sorcerer feat options. I have basically all of the good options there, so I decided to just go with power attack. And then my general feat for level 17 is dimensional agility, which Jason suggested to me, which basically allows me to dimension door and then still use other actions in my turn, so I don't automatically lose like move action or swift action or anything like that. I think that's really all. I think I did get an increase to my natural armor from being a Draconic Sorcerer, but other than that, I think it's all pretty straightforward.
Nice. And I guess now is the time to roll your whopping d6.
All right. Yeah, so I don't have any buffs affecting my con, so this should just be the roll. Ooh, a 5 on a d6.
5?
I'll take it.
Not bad.
So that brings me to 212 HP. So because that's a pretty nice number, I'm not going to put my favorite class bonus into HP. I'll put it into a spell. I don't know what spell, so I'll think about that. Also with that, real quick, I did swap out, because I can swap out spells at even leveled caster levels. I swapped out Sense Vitals for see invisibility, because with mass invisibility, we can't see each other. So I figured I will cast, at least on myself, see invisibility so I can see other people.
All right. Yes, so with that HP roll, that leaves Kieran at the end of the AP with an average HP per level of 6.4.
Actually, I lied. I have an additional HP because I have toughness. So I will put my favorite class bonus into HP to come to 214.
Okay.
So
doesn't change the average roll at all. It is still a 6.4.
Yep, but I just wanted it to be a nice even number.
That's not how averages work.
Well, the averages are by roll, not by HP value. So. Yeah. All right. Very neat. Got a secret thing there that we will maybe see here soon. It would be hilarious if we finish the campaign and we don't actually see what that secret thing was. But
I will use it in my end scene if I have to.
Look what I can do, guys.
Right?
It's like, you had that this whole time. All right. Next up on my order here, I see Justin. What did Oran get?
Yeah, so as Josh likes to say, I'm just a vanilla cleric. But I took Quick Channel as my feat, which is great. So I can use it as a move action. It costs me 2 charges to cast it like that, but could be handy in a pinch. Could be if we need a lot of healing all at once. I could do basically 2 channels for the cost of 3 in the same round. The other thing that I got was I did get access to my 9th level spells, which is cool.
That was a big one.
I don't know exactly what to pick. Right now I'm leaning towards, I don't have to pick any of them, because I have access to all of them, but I have to decide what I want to prepare, if you will. I'm thinking heal mass is probably what I'm going to go with. But I also get access to my domain spell, which is Elemental Swarm, which is kind of cool. You can summon a whole slew of elementals to basically come fight for you for, at my level, 170 minutes. So I get 2 D4 large elementals and 1 D4 huge elementals. It takes 20 minutes to cast, but it lasts 170, so functionally you get 150 minutes of elementals to come fight for you.
You guys get backed into a corner, and he's like, "Okay, you 3 hold them off for 20 minutes."
20 minutes. Well, you cast it pretty quick, but it takes it takes 10 minutes later for the huge elementals to appear for some reason. Like it's a pretty quick cast, but it's 10 minutes later the huge elementals will come.
Gotcha.
Which is just weird. But yeah, other than that, level 9 spells, I guess I could do my HP.
Yeah, let's see what you get with D8. 7. 7 on a D8, not bad. We're doing pretty good on our rolls here.
Yeah, that makes me a nice even 220. Not mad about that.
You put in your favorite bonus into HP?
I am, so we're going to do 221. I've been faithful to doing that every level.
You have 221 hit points? How'd you get more than me?
It's con.
I have a 5 con.
I also have a 5 con.
I smell something fishy. I see Justin's padding his HP over there.
What?
Yeah, so that leaves him at the end of the AP with an average HP roll of 4.9.
That's an interesting statistic. What dice is he using?
A D8.
Oh yeah, so that's pretty close.
But again, I'm so confused by that. Mine was how much? A 6 something?
6.4.
How does he have more HP than me? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
Deal. It's
what
fine.
should it be? What should it be? It should be something different?
No, you're probably fine. It's just, I was trying to think through the math and...
Do you have toughness?
Yeah. I have toughness. I have a 5 con.
Well, I was asking if Oran had toughness.
Oh.
I do not have toughness. I don't see toughness.
Because the sum of all 17 of your HP rolls is 83. plus your con times 17 would be another 85, which would be 168. And then you put a HP into all of your favorite class bonus. That's another 17. So 168 plus 17 is 178, 85.
185. Yeah.
So there's just another 50 somewhere.
Oh, do I have elemental body on? Maybe I do. My con's supposed to go down. Hang on.
That would have been like probably a manual thing that you entered if you had a con boost. I don't think it auto calculates.
How can you see his HP anyway?
He said it. He said 221, and
she
I was
could
like,
see the words coming out of his mouth when he said them.
She said she took C invisibility, Josh. Duh.
Yeah, which means I can see through the computer.
What is Kieran's HP?
214.
Yeah, 221 is pretty high then.
Especially because I had 10 levels of a D12.
I think it had elemental body worked into it. And I just didn't lower my max when I took elemental body off last.
He's had elemental body ever since we came to the earth.
I never turned it off. I never turned it off.
He gets that passive, guaranteed, because we're on the plane of Earth.
Yeah.
Does elemental body, how does that work? Does it buff your...
It buffs my con. Yeah.
Oh, your
by
con.
a lot. Yeah. I think my con goes up like 4.
Plus
it goes
4.
up 4. It's 4.
So that would add...
Another 35.
35? Yeah.
Which that would make sense because I was at like 202 or something like that. So the 180 plus the 20.
So you'd be at 186.
I get 185.
Currently, without elemental body.
Yeah.
Yes. 185. Yeah.
All right. 2 good HP rolls. Let's see if we continue. Josh, what did Gideon get at this level?
So this is a big level for me. It is the 10th level of the exalted prestige class that he went to. That's what I took. So he gets a capstone sort of ability. The prestige capstones aren't as good as a full class, level 20, but they're pretty big. And this one is really nice. And I'm gonna keep it a secret until it matters. But I'm really excited about it. It is actually the reason I made this character and designed them the way I did. So a lot of his build choices were informed by getting this ability at this exact moment. So I'm really excited about that.
Yep. I remember that conversation 3 years ago.
3? Yeah, it is probably, in no uncertain terms, it is the largest setup I have ever had for a character or a narrative moment, for sure. Largest setup.
Yeah.
So excited. Then another news though, I got another level 6 spell. I did also switch out spiritual weapon for see invisibility. I also had the ability to swap one of the spells at this level, and it just made a whole lot of sense. I took overwhelming presence, which is an awesome spell where I think you look something heavenly, so really excited about that. And then for my feat, I took Shield Master, which I've used in the campaign before, but I normally had to cast Paragon Surge to get it. And I actually just went ahead and spent the feat investment so that I don't have to cast the spell to be able to have access to that ability.
All right. More secrets and secrets. We shall see. Go ahead and roll your D8 and see if we can stick to the trend here of being close to max.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, right? What do I get to reroll?
A 1. If you roll a 1,
Woo!
another 7. So the trend continues.
Beautiful.
That brings Gideon's end of campaign average roll to 5.7.
And it sets me 5 HP behind Oran.
Yep. All right. Last but certainly not least, Brandon, what cool stuff did Jessup get at level 17?
I got some neat things. So probably the best one was my Inspire Courage is now +4. And with my cool Sicky hat, that's now a +5. So I have +5 for my Inspire Courage.
Wow.
I got another use of my Lore Master. And then I got a couple extra spell slots. Nothing too crazy. I end up And I did already put my favorite class bonus, Jason, in spell, so I got another spell. So I had gotten, for level 3, I took Spectral Scout. I assume that might be helpful for us. Let's get a little bunny rabbit or something to find stuff for us. I took Bard's Escape, which I think I overlooked that before, which is pretty cool. It's not as versatile as Dimension Door, but you don't have to be adjacent to somebody to teleport them, which I thought was pretty cool. And for level 6, I took a Greater Shout. So we'll see how those pan out. And then for my feat, I thought it was only fitting to take Great Fortitude, to give myself a little bonus to hopefully prevent any form of petrification. I'm not sure how that +2 is going to help me, but if, by the divines, that too makes a difference, everybody's eardrums are being blown, I'm telling you.
All right, very cool, very cool. Now you can roll your D8 and see if we can get 3 7s, if we can get the jackpot. No.
I got a 3.
3. Well, it's better than a 2.
Which is better than a 1.
So that brings my HP up to 324.
When you're a statue. But
yeah, so that brings me to 141.
All right. And that brings Jessup's average end of game HP roll to 5.4. So Kieran's in the lead at 6.4, then Gideon at 5.7, Jessup at 5.4, and then Oran at 4.9. So
poor
yeah,
Oran.
Very, very interesting.
You say poor Oran, but I've heard a couple rounds of you guys getting slapped around, and Jessup would have been dead by like 30 HP, so I'm not safe.
All right. Everybody is leveled up. Everybody is level 17 now as we go into the final stretch of this AP. And I'm going to go through a little bit more description here of the situation you're in before we really jump into this. There's a lot of information given how we have approached the Onyx Citadel here. It's kind of an all at once sort of situation. So I'll just kind of set the scene here again. The Argent Lake is one of the largest natural features in the vault of the Onyx Citadel. It's nearly 30 miles across at its widest point, and it's dotted with islands. And the valley's 2 major rivers, the Quartz River from the north and the Silver River from the south, both flow into it. The lake's depth is about 500 feet, but the first 120 feet is water, while the rest of it, everything below that, is a thick layer of quicksilver, which causes the waters to be rather poisonous. The vault's ceiling above the Onyx Citadel is the highest point within this enormous geode-like cavern, arching over 2 miles upward. While most of the citadel itself rises to a height of 100 feet, the black spire of onyx that focuses the stone roads soars another 500 feet beyond that. A 50-foot wide bridge of tourmaline stands over the Argent Lake, connecting the lake shore to the large island that supports the Onyx Citadel. An Ironfang encampment on the lake shore numbers thousands strong, but the overwhelming majority of these troops are typical hobgoblins, minotaurs, trolls, and other low-level combatants. Built from a titanic deposit of iron, the citadel stands atop this large island on this picturesque lake, rising, as I said, to a total of 600 feet. The walls of the citadel are made of magically reinforced onyx. Now that you are inside the citadel, you can see that at least this hallway, this sort of, I guess, covered balcony is the best way I can describe it. I'll go into more detail of this exact location in a bit, but you can see that this hallway and most of the areas that you can see are lit by a soft green glow of geomantic patterns that are carved into the ceilings above. The eastern gatehouse, which you can't see from where you are, but you had scouted out with the sands a little bit, is a 2-story complex that rises 60 feet, and the main floors of that building are about 20 feet high, and the second floors reach a uniform height that is met in this main area as well of 10-foot high ceilings. Now, kind of getting back into your perspective, that was all reminder of the setup of this geography here, but you all gather in the archive and prepare for battle. Kieran casts the teleport spell. None of you really know exactly what to expect upon your arrival. Maybe there will be enemies right near you, or who knows, maybe the spell will take you someplace you did not expect. But as the spell takes effect, you feel the world around you distort as you have felt many times before at this point, and in the next moment, information floods your senses. You find yourselves, as I said, standing on a second-floor balcony. This balcony is kind of carved into the citadel itself, such that there is kind of a ceiling above you, but the whole front area is open. You can see quite clearly into the air above and a little bit below, but it's not like you're just out in the open, so to speak. You don't see any enemy patrol or lookout standing on this balcony with you. However, you both see and hear an army of soldiers around you. The deafening sounds of hundreds of wings beat from the sky above. You can occasionally see a few red-winged creatures flying in the air just where your field of view gets cut off from the ceiling above. From below, you hear dozens of heavy creatures galloping around the open field. In the distance, you can hear faint clangs, several faint clangs, like hammers striking an anvil. Altogether, you find yourselves bombarded by sound, such that it seems no one's noticed your immediate arrival here, though that could potentially change should you draw enough attention. Everybody roll me a perception check, now that you are in the Citadel.
Were we going to be teleported while invisible?
That was the plan. I was planning on casting invisibility mass on us, which will last for 14 minutes. But again, while we are invisible, we can't see each other. So I cast see invisibility, which is a personal spell. Unfortunately, I can't cast it on other people, but I can hold your hand, Jessup.
I'm good, actually, because if you were going to do that, I was actually going to pop echolocation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I have see invisibility. I was, Jason jumped us right into the action, which is fine, but I was going to assume that we'd have some pre-buffs going. So I'm going to go ahead and just check them off. And once I decide the ones that I want active, I'll let y'all know.
That's not a cleric spell? Ah, fudge.
No, unfortunately for you, Oran, your only option is true seeing, which is expensive.
But it only lasts like a round, doesn't it? The one that I have?
Yeah, that's minute per level.
It's
minutes,
is it? So it would last for as long. It would last for longer than the invisibility.
Yeah, so I'll just use a usage of my ring then.
The ring would last a round. The spell itself lasts minutes per level.
Oh, okay. What level spell is that?
It's like a 5th level spell.
We didn't rest at all since you, Kieran, you popped the last crystal, right?
I think you rested just before coming here.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect.
Yes, you should all be at full health and everything.
I would say full health, full spells. Y'all will have hunters saying while you're inside. I think that's how Jason and I decided we'll rule that.
Yeah, as long as you are inside of a man-made, of a sentient-made structure.
Since we use the mass invisibility, Jason, are you cool if I just check off one of my level 5 and take true seeing?
That's fine.
Is that okay? All right.
Yeah, you can just spend a slot for that.
We would have talked about this, and you would have known to prepare it, so, yeah.
Now, do I give up the airwalk that I had prepared, or do I give up the breath of life that I had prepared?
Airwalk. Give up airwalk. Don't prepare that. It's garbage. Trash.
Josh and I are like, why did you pick airwalk, dude?
It's trash garbage.
Airwalk is not garbage or trash, although you should find a way to do damage in the air somehow if you don't have that already.
We're going to be inside a tower. You won't need it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the airwalk. It'll be fine. I'll keep the breath of life. That's more likely. Let's be honest.
It's a lot more likely.
Much more likely.
What other are you just because you've prepared multiple slots of that, or you just have other ones that are...
I have 2 breath of lives prepared.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm going to keep the 2 breath of lives and just get rid of the airwalk. It'll be fine. Why change now?
Let's just let Kieran handle it. Yep. You're doing great, Kieran. Keep flying. I can fly too, but really slow.
If Oran is there to bring me back when I die, I'm happy. So keep the breath of life. That's more.
Yep. Both Kieran and Jessup do not think he is a vanilla cleric.
Nope.
I didn't. That's not a bad thing. It's not. Well, we'll stop the conversation. We'll just stop. We'll just kill it.
Yeah.
I kill it.
If Josh's character doesn't have at least 3 different specializations, he's not happy with it. God forbid he follow a normal path for a character.
True
Right now he's got like a half cleric, half paladin, half Jessup build, half bard build.
You guys didn't, you weren't privy to the original concept for Elwood, but my goodness, was it a thing.
It was beautiful. And don't pretend it would.
Battle Herald, so it was like fighter and then bard and then cavalier into Battle Herald or something like that. It was crazy.
It was beautiful. It would have been so competent and very, very awesome.
Oh man, the BAB on that thing would have been awful.
Oh my goodness. You just can't stick to a path, can you?
I like the prestige classes. Though I have a particular penchant for them. I think they're very cool.
All right. So is everybody good to roll perception checks now? Maybe
22.
Ooh, my perception is a natural 19 for 34.
I got a 20 perception.
All right. So we got a 22 from Oran, 34 from Kieran, 20 from Jessup.
I mean, mine would have been a 24 because of Hunter's Blessing.
Okay,
I didn't have that in.
24, yep.
44.
44, not bad. All right, so I can now kind of describe a little bit more here, and I'm going to go floor by floor. So I'm going to move you guys to level 1.
Time for a dungeon crawl.
This is what you see on level 1. So as I said, you heard the sounds of dozens of galloping creatures down in the area below, and you see what those are 2 troops of cavalry and a single mounted hobgoblin shouting orders at them. They appear to be riding around in various training drills, just doing regular, like they're either mock, like fighting each other with, the backs of their blades and whatnot. Nothing lethal, obviously, but just honing their skills, so to speak. And the individual on the horse that you see here, I'll just blow it up so you can see him a little bit better. A heavily armored, sort of cavalier-looking gentleman on that. They're all on Yuzobu.
Have we seen that token before?
I don't believe so. This is unique to him. This is his actual token.
Just looked familiar.
Yeah, but all of these cavalrymen are riding on Yuzobu, which you can see there. They're kind of like goat-looking, yak-looking things, like bull goats. I don't know how best.
Wait,
horse
are they
goat
bulls? Because I might switch out one of my spells here.
Snip, snip.
Let me look up Yuzobu, see if they mention that.
Oh, dude, if it says bull-like thing, I'm totally swapping out my 6th level spell.
Yuzobu, 4-legged animal with long-homed bovine head. That doesn't really tell me a whole lot there. I don't see the word bull here immediately. They're called battle yaks.
All right.
Fine.
So that's what you see down there. They're kind of like riding back and forth in their troops. So again, each of these tokens is like a dozen to 2 dozen cavalrymen riding around in a loose formation. And that's really all you can see on the first layer from where you're standing. Everything else is kind of like you've got walls to the top and behind you. So you only have that front facing area that is perfectly open. Moving on to level 2 again. There's not a whole lot that you see here as well, because again, behind you is a wall, and to your, I guess it would be, I don't know what orientation you'd have arrived here, but further in this direction is another wall. It just kind of ends here. But the only area that you can go you do see a creature. It is a very quiet, still creature. You'd almost have missed it, but Gideon and Kieran, you are able to distinguish that it is in fact a creature that is standing guard right. You might not be able to see it. This is a very large map. I might have to ping it for you to see where I'm over here. And when you look a little bit closer, you can see the distinct red wings that are indicative of the hundreds of flying creatures in the air above. This seems to be some sort of ruby-winged gargoyle that is just standing vigil, perched on the edge of this secondary tower area. And I guess from your viewpoint, you would actually see that there is another one up here on the exact opposite side of that semicircular area. So there's two that you can see in line of sight guarding that open area. Other than that, you can see there are, technically you wouldn't be able to see some of this from where you are, but the sands, you would have noted it as well. There are 3 doors that are nearby to you. If you go deeper into the where the 2 different semicircles of the Onyx Citadel conjoin, basically, as well as an open stairway leading you don't know where. The sands couldn't pierce basically the exterior of the Onyx Citadel to see where that stairway goes. And that really is all that you can see from where you're standing. Everybody roll, just for the sake of it, roll stealth checks.
Plus 20.
And like I said, the noise here, there is quite a lot going on. This is not a quiet place by any means.
That's not with my plus 20.
I was going to say, you have a -9.
No. So that's a, 31?
Okay.
Jessup would have a 39.
Okay, 31, 39.
Well, I got a natural 1, so my 26 does include the 20 from the invisibility.
It does? Oh my goodness, Kieran.
Yep.
I'm more stealthy than you.
Yep.
That's a first.
Well, Kieran was casting the spell, so part of the incantation bled over.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. We'll go with that. Again, the guy that doesn't wear any armor is somehow a lot louder than those wearing full plate. I'm not salty about that at all, so.
I also am quieter than you. Just barely, but I am.
Goodness. So, a 26 minimum on the stealth rolls here, which means given the range penalty of -1 per 10 feet, and it's like 170 feet away, -17 basically means that it can't possibly perceive you from where it's at. So you look around for a moment after teleporting in, maybe take a couple seconds observing your surroundings, and it doesn't seem like anything has detected you. What would you all like to do?
I say we check out this open area here.
Yeah, I think before we would teleport, Jessup does have echolocation, but I think we could all see, but he's going to definitely let those that can actually see kind of lead where to go. So he's just going to try to follow their movements.
Yep. Echolocation will be good with finding your allies, but it has a limited range.
I could see everything else, though, just not ourselves. But otherwise, at least I'll follow. I'm just trying to follow them.
Right.
I'll just follow Kieran.
Yeah, where did Kieran want to look? Out over the...
He wanted to go up the open stairway.
Yeah, so basically just like checking our corners like a good SWAT team, but seeing what is around this corner.
All right, let me do a reveal here.
Whee!
So you see that this stairway curves up and around quite a bit here, going up to what you easily understand to be the 3rd floor of the tower. You can kind of see right here is where the stairway actually continues.
And I'm sorry, you said it goes up or down?
Yes, it goes up.
Oh, so it's like an outdoor staircase?
No, it's there's a wall in it. It's just on the far exterior of the structure. So I can maybe reveal this side of it as well. So like you can see there is a wall there, a thin one.
Yep, I see it. Yep.
That arrow clearly says that it's going the wrong way. It's only a one way, guys. Turn around. Can't go this way.
It's down. It's just saying it's down from up here. The third floor, I didn't have a non-GM map, so you'll get to see all the arrows and stuff.
I guess I would vote that we do that because that means we can more quickly get inside, out of the potential view of the gargoyles. Like, I know we're invisible, but just in case something were to happen and we get spotted, like, he'd rather be inside and not fiddling with doors or such. But if you guys want to try the doors, that's fine, but my vote would be to go into the stairs.
Stairs works for me.
Yep, like I said, we're just following you.
That's a terrible choice, because when we all die, you're going to blame me, and I'll feel bad.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yep.
Well, bummer.
All right, so I've put you all on the map here. You can continue up the stairs. You don't really see anything in the stairway. There's nothing blocking you. As you continue up, you do see that it ends in a door.
Oh, man. Okay, so while we're here, I want to cast a spell. Well, maybe I shouldn't cast a spell. Never mind, I won't cast a spell.
Okay.
What kind of spell did you want to cast?
Well, I wanted to cast Mirror Image with my Extend Rod, which I probably would have done before we even went in here. So if Jason will be kind, maybe I could have that cast.
That's fine.
Okay, so then... Wow, minimum images. So that's fun.
Not that it's crazy, but just don't forget, if you need, Kieran, Jessup's got the lesser Rod of Silence, too. Not that you could use both, but...
Rod of Silence?
How many uses do we have on that extend rod?
3
There's
per day.
3 each. Yeah, let's use yours, Jessup, and save the greater extend for if we need a higher level spell. Also, I think I put this in the chat, but I did cast Life Bubble too, so we all have that for a few hours.
Are we visible now?
No, it's 14 minutes of invisibility, and so it's only going to break if one of us is hostile towards another creature.
Your mirror images get to be invisible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy.
That's cool.
That'd be really funny though if only you were invisible, but there's like dancing images.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was like, do they get to have the invisibility? Otherwise, there's like a bunch of Kierans just floating around.
Wait, no. Jessup will cast Persistent Image, so there'll be 1 Jessup and 5 Kierans.
Ooh, perfect.
It's an army. We're ghosts. All right.
Ghosts.
Can I listen at the door?
Sure. Make
All right.
another perception check.
So, a 19.
19, you listen at the door, and one thing I will point out is that these doors appear to be opaque sheets of crystal. There's no latch, there's no knob to open them. You kind of get close to the door and put your ear next to it, and you just hear kind of like, it almost sounds like the whistling of wind on the other side. But that's it.
That kind of implies to me that it's outside, maybe?
Let me try.
Okay, Kieran will step back and allow Gideon to listen with a much higher roll.
What does a 50 do, DM? What does a 50 do?
With a 50, you hear the same thing as Kieran, but you are able to denote that it's not so much it's not the sound of wind like in an open area. It's the sound of maybe coming through a window, like an open window or an opening of some sort.
He will whisper that information.
Kieran's gonna kind of mime, what do you think we should do? Try the door?
Jessup is just sitting and nodding and smiling because he can't see what your miming motions are.
Gideon misunderstands. He gives you a little mini salute and tries the door.
Okay. So, Gideon, as you go up to this door, again, as I said, it's just an opaque sheet of crystal. There's no latch, no knob. But after looking at the door for a little bit, the moment you place your hand on it with the intention to open it, it shutters open automatically before you even get to touch it. It just kind of slides sideways into the wall and
I've seen
is
this
open.
at Walmart.
I don't like
Yeah, it's kind of like Walmart.
what technology the Ironfang has. Automatic doors.
I mean, for you guys, it would be pretty impressive, but...
In in a world of magic where we can bring people back from the dead. We are amazed at this door that opens on its own.
Well, because the door is not magic.
I think it's equally as impressive as automatic doors are to us, which is not so impressive unless you're 4 years old.
I think it's impressive.
We see a giant H27 written on the floor. What could this symbol be? Is it some sort of ritual?
You stumble upon room H27.
Oh no.
And in room H27, you see a singular siege equipment piece there. It's a ballista, a huge ballista that is pointed at an opening outside of the wall, and that is where the wind whistling sound is coming from. But it looks like this is currently not manned. There is nobody in here that you can see, and those of you who have seen visibility and blind sight can be relatively assured that it's not like something is hiding. There's just nobody here.
Yeah, I was just saying, having echolocation and seeing invisibility on while scouting is actually big brain move.
I'm really a dummy because I guess I didn't really need to see invisibility if I have blind fight or blind sense. Blind sense.
You would at least get a sense for where people are. Yeah, you just wouldn't know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever. All right, so Kieran's going to follow Gideon into this room. And then we're going to start spraying bolts out the window.
Yeah, you can see the vantage point here gives you a better view of the sky area. And you do see many of those hundreds of flying gargoyles that are kind of like patrolling the air 200 feet up from the citadel. And you could open fire on them if you wanted to do so. But you also see there is another door in this room on the other side of where you came in from.
Sure, go that way, the DM says.
Can I look at this, like, ballista? Is that what this is, a ballista?
Yep.
Is there... I don't have knowledge engineering, so this is probably a no, but can I look at this and see, like, is there any easy way to disable it so that it's not, like, easily fired? Just, like, snap a string or something and then it's done?
You could disable it, but disabling it in a substantial enough way for it to actually be like measurably disabled would require a disable device check. Or you could just start attacking it and making some noise, but maybe people wouldn't hear that.
Well, nope. Kieran will just kind of give it a little pat, accidentally set it off, and then run away.
Shooting Gideon, who is standing in the opening.
Gideon, you know you're not supposed to stand in front of an armed ballista. Did they teach you nothing in the Knights of Ozum?
What? And he turns around and you have your hand on the trigger. Boom! Pins him to the wall and he goes flying out.
It's like in Lord of the Rings. That guy, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's at Helm's
when he gets
Deep.
hit by it. Yeah.
Yeah, like right in the gut. Oh.
He's fine.
No, probably not.
All right, so can we listen at this next door?
Yep. You walk up to the door.
This is going to be H28.
Well, you walk up to the door, roll another perception. 29. You don't hear anything on the other side of this door.
That means there's definitely something on the other side of this door.
I can guarantee you it's not H28, and I'm willing to bet on it.
Wow.
50 cents?
Why are you so, like, gung-ho about that bet?
Somebody take the bet.
I'll get 50 cents.
Did you look up the map or something? Oh,
no,
I see why.
I just got a really good feeling.
No, I see why. I understand.
Oh,
where this is
I know
from.
why. That's dumb. That's cheating.
I just gotta. What? You ruined it, Jace. You ruined it. I could add 50 cents.
Wait. We have a problem here, though, because H26 and H28 are already shown on the map. So what could it be?
29.
There's no number in between.
H27.5.
You can't just go from H27 to H29. That's madness.
That's madness.
That's madness, she says. There's no rhyme or reason to this world. We suffer for nothing.
Okay. In all seriousness, this is serious stuff. All right.
Right. End of the campaign. Huge climatic moment here. You know, lots of drama, high stakes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll perception as well.
All right.
34. Not much better than Kieran.
You don't hear anything on the other side of this door.
All right. He is going to gesture to Kieran like, hey, you want to open this one? Should I open this one?
Kieran gives you a 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up back, and he's going to move his hand as if to Jedi wave it away. Open.
Okay. The door opens, and you see a hallway that continues kind of curving around the exterior of the tower.
Did this door close behind us after we all walked through it?
Yep.
This is like some like sci-fi stuff going on here.
It's feeling a little like spaceship, you know,
Yeah.
a little spaceship.
Yeah, like we're in the Truth and Reconciliation or something. That's just what I think of. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I don't know why I went to Halo, but
That was oddly specific. I
Yeah.
mean, good comedy thing, but like, wow, that's funny.
all right, we're still do
Another door.
do.
Indeed, at the end of this hallway, you do see another door.
Okay, so you guys used to complain all the time in Rune Lords that all you ever did was go through hallways and find doors, and I don't want to hear it anymore because it's more than just Rune Lords.
I'm not complaining. I'm liking this. This kind of door is fun.
Oh, sure, you like these doors.
Yeah, these doors I don't have to open. I can just wave my hand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this dungeon crawl is very linear. I like it.
That's scaring me though, the fact that these just open for us. I don't like it. It's like they are expecting us or something. Somebody's on the other side pushing a button to open the doors for us.
You don't notice the cameras above you?
Yeah, right?
There are definite magics which exist which could bar these doors from being opened by those that like didn't have a particular anything, like a badge, a sigil, a physical identifier, anything. Will they just let us walk through?
Do you open this door as well?
We listen.
We'll listen.
Okay.
See, we got it. We are.
You
on the
listen at
same
this
wavelength.
door, a
Natural
35
20.
from Kieran.
44.
You hear a faint sound of whistling wind on the other side of this door.
Oh boy, Kieran says that sounds familiar. I think it's another ballista.
Yeah, it's gonna look just like this room.
Do you open the door?
Yep.
Okay.
Open door.
You open the door and it is an exact same room, just pointed in the
Wait a
90
minute. Okay,
degree.
this is okay.
Wait,
I wasn't gonna complain. I wasn't gonna say a single thing, and I was gonna give Sarah a whole lot of drama for how bad the map design was there, right? Bad with air quotes around it. But this doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it at least loop around like a donut? It's just a dead end.
It would appear so.
No, you would say that, but I'm gonna check the other side. I'm looking. This has got to loop around.
Who would have thought, too, that there would be another H27? That's the only option. It couldn't be H26 or H28, but it's another H27.
Oh, that's so funny.
We're walking in
madness.
circles.
Well, Kieran's like, my idea sucked. All right, somebody else is making the next decision.
So roll another perception, and if you roll above 40, I will read you the entirety of the description of H27.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
I can't
boy.
get a 40. You said my top is the 35.
A 9 or higher. Anybody want to give me a quick unshakable 0? Do I roll my advantage on this?
No,
Can I
I'll
aid?
give you an aid.
Can I aid his
Sure,
perception?
that's fine. Everybody wants
29 on my aid.
Okay.
15 on my aid.
So a
13.
plus 6. So I need to roll. Who cares? Let's see what we get.
Big money, big money, big money.
Hey, exactly.
Got you exactly 40.
For those
Wow.
listening, I rolled a 34 with the 3 aids. The DM gives it to us. Forever gracious,
Okay.
forever kind.
Rolled a nat 3.
I will read you the entire description from the book.
All right.
H27, siege batteries. Currently unoccupied, these twin chambers each house a huge ballista.
Stop
That's
it.
it. That's it.
I hate this book
Wow.
so much.
That's,
Why?
That's all. H27.
Somebody was over their word count and they were like, I need to make this as minimal as possible because
Guarantee you are right. Like the pagination was off, and so they had to
Yeah.
like slim down some of the encounters, and so they're just like, yeah, there's stuff there. All right, moving on.
Yep.
well, I guess we'll just backtrack. We just wasted a bunch of our invisibility time on stupid stuff.
That was an hour of gameplay.
It wasn't quite an hour. It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sure.
All right. We still have like basically the whole amount of our invisibility. I'm just going to call it now. Okay. Somebody else picked the next door because my option was lame.
Well, this one always looks terrible.
All right. That's Jessup's vote. I say we go for it.
Alrighty.
You guys return back to the second floor here, and there are again those 3 doors. These are wider doors. They look like essentially double doors, even though they're again still just a flat, opaque crystal. But they are definitely wider than the ones that you opened on the third floor there. Where you go?
Jessup wanted to go towards this ominous middle tower bit, so we go.
The ominous middle tower bit, yes.
Yes. It's almost as crazy as H27. I bet it's H25.
It's just a room with more ballista in it, where they keep the spare ballista that aren't out in the.
It's all the broken ballista.
Yeah, it's a repair shop for ballista.
and extra arrows and supplies. Nothing of import.
Yep.
All right. So you walk up to that door and open it?
We listen first.
Immediately.
You can
open
assume the listen path.
I will always assume
21.
that you just immediately open it blindly.
We just burst in Kool-Aid Man style. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, so with your perception checks there, you're listening on the other side, and this time you hear something. You hear voices, several voices. And what was the highest roll here? 33, Gideon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gideon, you're actually able to make out quite a bit of detail. It's muffled because it's through the door, but it doesn't sound like there is a great distance between where this conversation is going and the door, or the conversation is being held at a fairly high decibel. But this is essentially what you hear, Gideon.
This plan is madness, pure madness. Surely you all agree. Right? Karza, Noxul, what merit does this plan have, huh? Name one. I thought General Xerxes' dream was to create a paradise for us outcasts, not offer up some desolate wasteland filled with ash and corpses. Did you really believe that nonsense? Her dream was nothing but propaganda. She came up with the whole thing just to rally the other monster regiments under our banner. Her real goal is revenge, pure and simple. I disagree. If revenge was her goal, she could have rallied them using that alone. Most of them don't need a justification to fight the established nations of Avestan. If anything, a monster paradise would just distract or confuse them. Do you really think a troll would understand even half those words, let alone the concept itself? Well, how do you explain this plan, then? I can't. Frankly, it doesn't make sense. It will win us the war, of that I'm certain, but as a long-term strategy, it just doesn't make sense. General Xerxes is smarter than this. I think the worm talked her into it. They've been spending a lot of time together. Rumors say the general came out of a meeting one day a week or two ago with foul temper. Maybe that's when they first discussed it. What does that witch stand to gain by convincing her of this? There's a brief lull in the conversation, and then a new voice speaks up. It doesn't matter. That's not why we met today. We came to put our heads together to come up with a better strategy. This plan will end in the destruction of Avestan, if not the whole of Galarian, and we will soon follow suit. If we can devise an alternative, General Xerxes will have to reconsider. But on the off chance that she does not see reason, we will have to take matters into our own hands. What are you implying, Noxil? If the leader of an organization does not seek the benefit of the organization itself, then the leader must be removed, by force if necessary.
You hear the sound of a fist slamming into a table and a chair toppling backwards onto the ground.
Are you suggesting we assassinate her? That's treason. You think I don't know that? What? Do you have a better idea? Would you rather let this plan go through and watch our kind slowly crumble away on a dead planet? No? Then shut your mouth and start thinking of a plan. Either one to replace this catastrophe of a war strategy, or one to catch our oh-so-sagacious leader off guard.
And then after that, the room seems to go quiet.
Whoa! That was a big reveal.
Whoa!
Whoa!
With your perception check, you aren't sure how many people are there, but there were at least 4 different voices, if not more.
Do we want to see if they want help?
Should we go in invisible and speak in goblin, and then they won't know that we're not goblins until we're like, boom, we're not goblins. You want to work together? You want to work together?
We weren't goblins the whole time.
I don't know, but it does seem like they're unhappy with the present situation. I don't know how open they would be to.
Okay, do you want to know what I think is the answer? Is we let Jessup shine here, okay?
Oh, for sure.
God.
100%.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's send our squishy bard in first.
What we do is we pivot diplomacy. In theory, there is an angle, and I'm just throwing this idea out there. We can back forth it. Obviously, Jace, our characters are sidebarring somewhere.
No, this is coming out shouted out in the open. The gargoyles come over here like, what the heck is going on? Who's talking over here?
That exclamation that Josh did was in character. Was Gideon just going, yes!
Yes, he's like, they're gonna coup, they're gonna revolt, they're killing their leader, we love it. This is great. No, so we could play the angle that with a certain level of provisions and a certain level of services rendered, there is a diplomatic approach here where we take out Azerces, that's her name, right?
Azerce, General Azerce, yeah. She's the leader of the Legion.
And we position one of these hobgoblins in this room into a position of leadership and power that we think we could have long-term sensible diplomatic relations. We play a little bit of espionage, a little bit of manipulating foreign vote results, and we get somebody in a position of power who would reason with Near Mythos, and perhaps we could even concede a certain amount of land for goblin kind.
Whoa.
We don't have to. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't mind, but if we're going to go there, we might as well promise them some land in Malthun.
This is good. Jessup, you are the best.
Perfect.
We leave it to you. That's how I think that's how we play this. This sounds really exciting.
That sounds right.
Awesome. All right. How do we approach them?
That's a good question. Because these don't look like, these
You
are not
could
like
try to knock.
the slidey doors. Like we can't just wave our hand and they open.
They look like the same doors, they're just wider.
Oh. What did Gideon do to make them open before? He just stood there?
As soon as he approached them with the intent of opening the door, they opened automatically.
They can read our minds?
Psychic doors. All the doors are just mimics that can read minds.
What an idea, though. Oh man,
That is a great idea for
that's such a great idea.
A little dungeon is like all the doors.
Oh, a dungeon where like everything is a mimic.
Yeah, you get all the way to the middle before you realize it, and the reason that they haven't attacked you is they're like telepathically debating who gets which amount of food, and when you're finally stuck, it's too late anyway. Ugh.
There's your horror campaign, Josh.
Yeah.
Frank the cabinet hasn't eaten in a while. Let's let until they get to the kitchens and let Frank have them.
Wait, yes, that's so good. All right, that's the next little scenario I'll write up.
So here's the question. Do we want to go in invisible and speak to them, which will immediately throw them off guard, but we could also go visibly, which would also throw them off guard. So it's really going to come down to what we say.
Either we do that, or Jessup tries to alter self and make himself look like a hobgoblin, and then go in trying to parlay. But if they don't know me anyway, then I guess it'll kind of throw it all off. So
I think we go in invisible and show a strong hand with a show of force, where we basically, because that keeps us a little bit disguised. We can leave if we want to, but we can also speak as a disembodied voice. Jessup can lead and decide how honest to be, but basically say we're willing to talk, and if they want to, we'll reveal ourselves or have a discussion. If not, we're going to leave, and then we can move from there, play it something like that. If it does go down to violence, we kick the hornet's nest. We're going to be fighting everyone. So
Yeah. And where we are right now, Jason, if we were to go visible, the gargoyles would see us.
Yeah, so where you're standing right in front of this door, this area doesn't have anything above it. That's only the circular area of the main semicircle. Once you get out to this secondary semicircle, this walkway area is exposed to the air.
Okay, it's hard to visualize because there's no roof, but okay, that makes sense. All right, yeah, I think we go in invisible and then...
And we try to convince them to have a conversation with us. If they cannot be convinced, we either leave or slaughter them as invisibles.
So I can, I guess if like Oran and Gideon, you guys want to be in front, Kieran, next week, we could just all move in together. And then once we're all in, I could talk. And if they try to run at me, then they'll hit a wall of HP.
Yep, I agree.
That sounds like a plan.
Wow, this is fun. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Role play. D&D.
Everybody here speaks Hobgoblin. Was that what they were speaking in, Jason? Common or Hobgoblin?
They were speaking in Goblin.
Okay, does everybody here speak Goblin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kieran?
I'm sorry, yes, Goblin. I do speak Goblin.
Okay. Okie dokie, so Jessup put it speak in Goblin.
All right.
So I think we'll go in. The doors are open, they'll know we're here. I can say something as we're entering and then let the doors shut. Good to go.
A quick stow your hands, stow your blades.
So we're going to try to get a truce with them, an uneasy truce, so we can try to take down Azirces and then go from there. That's the game plan, correct?
I think that's truce maybe is a bit too strong, but I think that we currently share an enemy. We can decide what the fallout is that after the removal of Azirces.
And the snake chick, what was her name again?
Xanathura.
So
Xanathura. Okay.
the Naga simulacrum that you fought was Xanathura's simulacrum.
That worm, by the way, is that worm WYRM or worm?
He spelled it out. He was like, that worm WYRM.
Josh's perception was so good, he saw it in closed captions.
Or like or did it have the did it have a worm like respectful or worm like derogatory, like dirt being?
So unfortunately that connotation was a 40 perception.
I'll
So
roll
you're
again.
not sure.
Wait, Josh, roll a linguistics.
Well, okay. A linguistics check, Chase?
There's no way you'll succeed.
All
Do you
right.
even have linguistics?
Yeah, I have 2 ranks in it.
Yeah, a 12. Whether it was derogatory or not, you're not sure. You do think it was worm, not worm,
Gotcha. Okay.
but you don't know if it was a respectful or derogatory.
I feel like that's derogatory, but
I don't know. Some people like being worms.
Who else is here getting the feeling that Xanathura is really the final big bad? Just based on what we're hearing? No?
Not me.
Just me. Okay.
She was a what type of creature was she?
A Naga.
She was. I can't
Naga.
remember exactly which Naga she was, but I mean, we only fought her simulacrum.
like a shadow Naga, is that a thing? Water Naga? She did cold stuff, didn't she?
We identified her specifically. I just can't recall offhand.
She is a dark Naga.
Oh,
They were probably talking about her then.
that's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to go when you guys open the door and go in and talk.
Kieran thinks the word open.
So, standing at the doors, you sort of mentally will them to open. And this time, something a little bit different happens to these doors than the other ones on the 3rd floor. These doors, as you have that thought or intention to open them, you see trails of green geomantic shapes and patterns begin to form on the door, and then very briefly flash red before the door goes inert again and does not open.
Kieran thinks open harder.
The same thing again, they flash up, like kind of flash red and then go inert. As you do that, you do hear a voice coming from inside, and you can hear the voice saying,
There's someone at the door.
and then another voice is,
It's a bit early. Do you think it's Targareth? Must have been the wind.
Oh,
I didn't think he was supposed to be here so quickly.
Wait, we know Targareth.
and
We
then the
know
other guy's
Targareth.
like,
If Targareth is at the door, he has the key to come in. Be ready, open the door, but keep your wits about you.
Kieran, wasn't Targareth? Wasn't that the one that we helped? Who was in the? Who was being mind controlled?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
in the
was the
forest?
Slayer guy that almost killed you And then we took the mind worm off of it. And
Oh, that was... Okay, I was thinking of the 4 commanders that we had the whole tobacco on, and what did we do with them when we let them go? We gave them provisions and let them go. It was the leader of those 4 then.
Who was Targrith?
So when you fought Arlantia, there was a mind-controlled hobgoblin there with her fighting you. You eventually broke the mind control effect, but since everybody was flying around, he basically said, yeah, I don't have anything that can contribute to this. I'm going to leave.
Yeah, he peaced out.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they're going to let us in. Although I did have the fun, hey, guys, it's me, Targrith. I seem to have misplaced my key. Could you let me in?
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
So
that'll definitely work.
a few moments pass, and you do hear footsteps just on the other side of this door, and shortly thereafter, the door glows with that green light, this time flashes blue, and slides open like the ones you saw on the top floor. And let me reveal what is inside.
Hi.
We rush in.
Hello.
Yes. I remember some of these tokens.
You see 6 figures inside of this room. One of them is standing directly in front of the doorway. The other 5 are a little bit behind. All of them are ready for combat because they feel something is suspicious. And in the brief moment that you're able to look inside of this room, you can see that there is a giant sort of diorama table in the center of the room that has a basket-sized boulder dropped onto its center, crushing a bunch of model towns on some sort of map. And there is a... it also kind of cracks the table itself in half.
They've modeled out what it's going to look like when it crashes into Galarian.
Could be. Okay. You do see several painted kind of like little figurines that are all over the place that look like they were maybe troops or major locations that were thrown off the table or the diorama there. And there is a small lantern that is hanging above it that is providing dim illumination to the whole room. There are bookshelves that kind of line the room here, filled with all sorts of different things that you can't really see from where you're at. You'd have to study what these books or records or files, whatever is in here. But it looks like this is maybe some sort of war strategy room. And as soon as the door opens, the figure who opened it kind of looks ahead and he says, "There's no one there. What's going on?"
Oh, that's, I think, when Jessup would speak up.
Okay.
You said they're all in combat ready, correct?
They all have weapons drawn because something's fishy, but yeah.
Okay, so then Jessup will just kind of speak up from there. To protect us from potential fighting here, I am invisible, but I've heard your plight. I know of Targrith. If you allow me to enter and store your blades, perhaps we can come to a mutual understanding of your plight of a desolate land.
As soon as you start speaking, they all kind of jump in surprise, not expecting there to actually be somebody there that they can't see. And the orange guy in front here, he takes a step back and he says, "Who's there? Show yourself." And then the blue one in the back just says, "Start throwing bombs there. Catch whoever's there." And the green figure here kind of holds up and he says, "No, stop. I want to hear what this voice has to say."
Out of game, is there any way for me specifically to become uninvisible? Or visible? Which is called visible.
It's all or nothing. I can dismiss it, or if any one of us makes a hostile action, we all become visible. So it's all or nothing.
Is that how greater invisibility works?
This is not greater invisibility, but...
Oh, invisibility mass.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess... Unfortunately, the spell I have cast, I cannot dismiss it to become visible, but if you'll be kind, I will enter, and we shall speak further about this plan to get rid of this worm.
The hobgoblin who held up his hand says, "How many of you are there? Are you alone?"
No, we are few.
We are many. We are legion.
We are legion.
he motions back to the hobgoblin here in the standing behind the others and makes a drinking motion, and that hobgoblin nods, pulls out a little vial and chugs it real quick, and says, "Oh, yes, I can see 3 of them, invisible."
So, no need to hold up the charade. Jessup will move forward. He will have his hands raised in a very non-threatening demeanor.
He puts his fists up.
The orange hobgoblin here, the orange token, as soon as the blue one mentions that there's 3 of you, he takes another kind of couple steps back to stand next to this guy. The one in green here sheathes his weapon, and you guys actually recognize this guy as being one of the commandos that you had set free in the Fangwood.
I recognize you. Jessup will step closer, so he's kind of right in front of him. We helped you. You and your comrades set you free, remember?
So unfortunately, only my friend can see you, so I don't really know. I don't recognize the voice, though.
If you and your comrades put away your weapons, I will have my friend here dismiss the spell, and we can all get acquainted.
He looks to the others and nods. They kind of nod back, and he says,
"All right, I'm willing to listen."
And they sheathe their weapons.
Can I get a sense motive?
Sure.
Ooh, 28.
28. You feel they are definitely apprehensive. The 5 of them are particularly apprehensive, but this one here, standing in front of you, you get the sense that he's curious. None of them feel threatened because they feel they have the superior numbers, but he's the only one that is like genuinely curious about what you might have to say.
Okay. So, I guess Jessup will say, okay, dismiss invisibility, please.
Okay, I dismiss it.
Is Kieran staying hidden?
No.
Or are you going to come in?
If you guys are coming in, he'll come in too.
Okay. So yeah, the door closes. You dismiss invisibility, and the 4 of you are there with the 6 of them. And upon seeing you all, the one in green kind of cocks his,
"Actually, yeah, I do remember you. Back in the Fangwood."
Yes. We are here. Originally, I will admit, we were here to stop the Legion from its continued torment of our nations. But now, after coming here and seeing what will happen to the entire world, things drastically have changed. We have heard what you speak of, this uneasy alliance that you have with Xerxes and Zenithor, and I know it will not be easy, but certainly I think we may be of assistance to each other.
"All right. I'm willing to listen to this plan of yours. What do you propose? Sounds like you've been eavesdropping on our situation. How do we know that you won't just backstab us the moment you get the good chance to?"
First, none of us are rogues. Secondly, is your leader, I think you were expecting him, is he on the same page?
Are you talking about Targareth?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one who came up with this whole plan. He's been spending a lot of time with Xerxes. He's the one who, I guess his patience wore thin faster than the rest of us.
Yes, last I saw of him, we freed him from his mind control, and he did not fight us. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think he was going to assist us. But given the circumstances, he was not going to be of use with his lack of range and mobility, so he hightailed and left. I honestly don't blame him. I'm quite surprised, given the circumstances of the Fangwood, that you and... He kind of looks over. Did your others survive?
2 of us survived, with Targareth. We were making our way out after you freed us, and nearly got ourselves killed in the very next creature that came after us, but Targareth showed up near the end of the fight, managed to bail us out. He was under-equipped at the time, but we managed to pull through, and then the 3 of us who survived somehow made it out.
I believe when we parted, we left on uneasy terms, but I think we even made some sort of sentiment about if we were to run into each other again, we wouldn't know what would happen. Funny how things come to be.
Yeah, it actually kind of is.
It would be troubling to expend resources in combat, but I feel that we can both gain something here. I will say that everything that has transpired against us, against the Legion, I've met some interesting allies that I don't think I would have normally have met, and I think, why stop now?
Well, unfortunately we only have so many seats here, so someone will have to stand, but we can take some time to talk.
Besides Targreth, are there more coming? Are we safe? I would hate to have some uninvited company come.
We should be safe, yes. This room is locked to anyone who's not an officer. So Targreth should have no problem getting in here, but that also means the other commanders could come in. They don't generally come in here, though. This is the sort of strategy room, and of all of the officers that are, want to strategize, Targreth's really the only one. Kralos, he only really cares about riding his mount around all day, and Aslo, well, he could care less.
Well, should we begin or wait for Targreth?
Targreth will be a while. He's still with Azersi at the moment, keeping an eye on her, so might as well start without him.
Are you sure she or anyone else close to her would suspect his questioning or his, potential thoughts of betrayal?
That I'm not sure. I haven't asked him exactly where he stands on the whole matter with, as far as her awareness of him is, but it could be either way, honestly. The position of spy master within the Legion has already a history of betrayal.
Indeed. So, would you care to share what you know?
What specifically would you like to know? What didn't you hear? What do you still need to know?
Well, and my comrades can speak up at any time. I think we only have so many days before this plane of existence is teleported and completely decimates all that we know. And then you all, he kind of motions to the hobgoblins in the room, will be conquerors and leaders of nothingness.
Yeah, sounds like probably you guys were the ones that caused us to have to revisit the plan. About a day or two ago, we were informed of this whole strategy kind of abruptly, told that that worm was coming up with some spell that would end the war for us. And then they drop this boulder on the table and basically tell us that's the plan. Not really much of a plan at all as far as any of us are concerned, but then the next day they come in saying it's going to be maybe a week longer than expected. Something went wrong. Sounds like maybe you guys were tampering with something, so we have you to thank for that. Otherwise, this whole catastrophe would have already been underway.
Well, you're right. That's exactly what it is, a catastrophe. It would do more than end the war. It could end all of the Inner Sea, all of Galorian.
Yeah, that's the worry.
I hope we are united in goal that none of us want that to happen.
No, none of us are particularly on board with this plan. I hesitate to even call it that. It's just, I don't know how she would have come up with this idea. This is nothing like Azersi. She's a brilliant tactician, a brilliant strategist. We've been making decent strides throughout the whole war, setbacks here or there, of course, and again, I assume you guys are mostly to blame for those. But if it weren't for you, the war would have been over months ago. That's just how good she is. This doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what we thought when we first heard it. To tip our hand a bit, it did not line up with our understandings of the motivations for the Ironfang's invasion. It does not make sense, your cause for war to end in annihilation. You say she's been acting strange most recently.
Yeah, Azkara, you want to talk about that? You're the one who brought it up. And the purple token over here speaks up and says, yeah, so a few days ago, maybe a week or two ago, rumors started spreading amongst the officers saying that Azersi went into a meeting with the worm and it went a little bit longer than normal, and when she came out, she was in a very, very bad mood. She didn't look like she liked what they talked about, but it was just the one day. And then after that, she, I guess, got over it. I don't know, maybe she just thought about it over the night and figured it had more merit than any of us could understand. I don't know, but ever since then, she's just kind of been, I don't know, she's spent a lot of time down below in the main chambers. She doesn't barely even leave it. I don't know if she's left it in 3 days now.
We've seen it before, even you yourself, and he gestures to the one particular goblin that was charmed, have been the victim of compulsions. Has anyone checked if there is an ongoing magic?
This individual, the original one, speaks of his... Nobody here is foolish enough to try to cast a spell on the general to check something like that. That'd basically be suicide. She'd cut you down before the spell even got cast. But it's hard to believe that she would be compelled, her of all people. Though, I guess if you think about it, it would put some of the pieces together, maybe.
Or perhaps you misjudged her motivations from the beginning.
The red one over here, and he says, I don't think so, no. She doesn't need to come up with fancy lies for something like this. Half of the Legion would be more than happy to slaughter all of Avestan for nothing more than just bloodshed for bloodshed's sake. She doesn't need to come up with all of this nonsense for that. I mean, ever since she kind of started the Legion, it's more and more have come across, come over to the idea of having a paradise for us outcasts, someplace that we could actually go and not have to worry about looking over our shoulders. Most of the people who were in the Goblin Blood Wars, the survivors, those were the main ones that stood behind her idea. Maybe they were fed up with war already. And some of the newer kin are, I guess they're more aggressive still. They haven't quite understood what it's like. But I don't think she needs to try to fool anyone for that. She'd have more of an army just by saying what it is if that was her goal originally.
Well, let's pivot our discussion to that chief cause. I cannot speak on behalf of Nirmathos nor Morthune, and Jessup among us would be best to weigh in on this. But the way I see it, we cannot change the grievances of the past, neither of us. But it is my chief hope for peace, and it is my holy oath to stand with the oppressed of all peoples and kin. I see a better future if we can avoid the complete destruction of Avestan. I can't promise anything on my own, but I hope in some way that you can enjoy a paradise in the inner sea. But I don't want to award further bloodshed. These lands of conflict have seen enough.
The green token whose name was Noxel. I think you heard that name at the beginning. Noxel responds, he says, well, if you're on the side of the oppressed, you won't find too many who are more oppressed than any of us. But I won't go into the history of all that. Peace. Well, if I'm being honest, if you had said that to me a month or two ago, I would have frankly laughed you out of the room, but ever since Fangwood, I've been thinking about it. I'm wondering if it's really as much of a pipe dream as all of us thought it was. Frankly, this whole conquest of ours has gone on longer than any of us expected, and those of us, as Kara said, those of us who were still around for the Goblin Blood Wars we're just starting to get sick of it all.
Gideon bites his tongue. He doesn't have much more to say. The truth is, the region of the history of this area and the Blood Wars and the whole conflict with Nirmathos and Morthune is not simple. And both sides have done some pretty bad stuff historically. All sides. So, kind of funny, the timing of this discussion in this fantasy world.
So, another one of them speaks up and says, as far as the plans on our side, we haven't really made too much progress. That's what this whole meeting was for. We wanted to all pool our heads together and come up with some alternative. And that's when Noxel came out with the banger of an idea with this assassination. Noxel kind of bows his head almost as if he took that as a compliment.
It is a dramatic option. He's going to look to his companions. Do any of you care to weigh in?
I guess assassination would be one option, but if it's possible that she's under some sort of compulsion, if there's a way to break that compulsion, maybe she feels the same way that all of you do, but hasn't had a chance to act on it. And Jason, I guess I would know as a caster, I don't know if I need to roll Arcana or anything like this, but with compulsion spells, like Dominate Monster, Charm Monster, all of that, if you kill the caster, it doesn't necessarily break the spell, does it?
No, typically spell effects aren't just lost. I mean, a charm person spell would lose most of its effect because the person that you view as a friend is dead. And
Okay.
a dominate person the same, like they can't just start issuing commands. But in theory, if they were put under a command, the command would maintain. The spell would eventually fizzle out. And I think Dominate might be a spell that you have to be consciously upping every day or else it ends.
Right.
But it's not just like the spell immediately ends. It's kind of like if you die while invisible, the invisibility kind of stays there for a little bit.
A cleric, though, Oran could definitely, in theory, break that charm, right? Would break enchantment or
Enchantments. There's a number of spells that could potentially be used.
anything that gets rid of feeble minds, so a wish or miracle spell.
This hobgoblin over here kind of speaks up and he says, even if she is under some sort of compulsion, as you said, in order for it to affect Xerxes herself, the living legend herself, that would have to be a very powerful spell. The only person here who could possibly pull off something like that would be the worm. And as much as I hate to admit it, she is powerful.
This worm you keep mentioning, that's the, what's the Black Naga's name?
Xanathura.
He'll say, that's the Black Naga, Xanathura. Is that right?
3 of them practically growl when you say the name. And then Noxel says, yeah, that's her.
We have learned of her name and some of her misdeeds over the past few weeks. We actually fought a simulacrum of her, a dummied down clone, if you were. And even that was formidable. We had fought other Nagas as well and have experienced them with mind control capabilities. The more and more that I hear about what is going on, the more and more I have a feeling that she is up to no good. Now, what her end goals are, I have no idea, but I have a feeling that if she is able to control Xerxes and therefore then start controlling the Legion, I just get an uneasy feeling that she wants to be the player in a game of chess and control all the pieces, as it were.
Is there a knowledge check for Black Nagas as far as like alignment, culture? Are they mythical? Like, do they have a tendency? Are they like demons and they just want to destroy the whole world because that's funny?
So I don't know anything about Black Nagas, but Dark Nagas, potentially, yes. That would be I believe this would be a nature check. Let me double check that.
Ooh, I got a 7 in nature.
So identifying creatures of this type, nature, dungeoneering is what I meant to say.
Ooh, I got a 7 in dungeoneering. I rolled a 15.
Are you rolling on your own or eating?
Eating.
Yeah, that would make the most.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
I don't think I can.
Kieran will say, hey, Jessup, remember that time that we read about this in that book? Do you remember?
Ah, yes, this was one of the ones you read to me before bedtime.
Yes.
In 35, if it were.
What?
That's the strangest justification for character back knowledge I've ever heard in my life. That is whack.
No, listen,
boy.
we did keep watch. You two were sleeping. I was awake. Kieran's just reading stuff. I was like, hey, why don't you read it out loud?
I'm
just
not
so I
mad
can
about it.
have
It's
to
just
say it.
flavor. It's just a really funny flavor.
How many times have we had keep watch spell and we're up all night long and we just read books to each other? Because how else are you going to pass the time?
It's either we read books or I get mugged by his brother. You know.
Also accurate. Although that did only happen once, so
It's memorable.
hasn't recurred.
Okay, so with that roll, I
35.
will give you a bit of information here. So there is a handout that I had a while back that I gave you called the Ecology of the Naga that goes into a lot of detail. I'm not going to read that whole thing. That it's a lot. I
Where
will
was
read
that?
you. It's in the handouts in the campaign lore.
Oh,
Ecology
see,
of the Naga.
I was looking through the book stuff, the book handouts, trying to find stuff earlier, and I couldn't find anything. But
Yep, all of the lore bits are in the campaign lore. But
Oh,
So-
that is a lot of stuff.
yeah, the parts specific to Dark Nagas. So, frequenting both subterranean ruins and urban slums, Dark Nagas are the species most familiar to adventurers. They are interested in material wealth, especially jewelry and luxury items. Dark Nagas loathe other Dark Nagas in particular, though they gladly lord over goblins, kobolds, lizard folk, and orcs. Typical Dark Nagas' obsessions include macabre or gothic jewelry, grave goods, magical bands, circlets, and torques.
so I just have to comment on the image that goes with this handout. That one Naga's got like ringlets in her hair. Please tell me, how does she style her hair when she does not have any arms?
Mind control.
Polymorph.
Creature with hands.
Mage hand.
How can
Mage
you
hand will
mage?
do it.
How can you cast
Curling
spells?
iron.
How do you cast spells if you don't have hands?
They don't need the hands
They-
to do somatic
Don't
component.
they have a tail?
Yeah.
They hold a curling iron with their tail. I guess that would work.
Yeah. If you were born with a tail, you could probably use it. Yeah.
Yeah, read Pirate's Honor. You can learn all about how Nagas can do all kinds of fun things.
Curl their hair. That's interesting.
Yeah, see, I don't see, because you need two hands. You got to hold the curling one, and then you got to use the other one to like wrap the hair around it.
I'm just gonna take your
Two
word for it,
castings of
Sarah.
Mage Hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, me and Brandon are just gonna take your word for it. I'm not entirely sure how curling hair works.
Or a single casting of Unseen Servant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that'll do it.
also that could be why it looks so weird, because it doesn't look very good. I'll be honest.
That'd be so awesome with two of them. And then, Kieran, you promised to mage hand my curling iron today. I took a teamwork feat just for this. Sorry. Anywho,
Now I forget where we left off. Oh, asking about the Dark Naga.
Dark Nagas, they're not chaotic gremlins that just want to destroy everything. They have
No,
things
they're
that they like.
lawful evil.
Yeah, so this doesn't make sense from that perspective either, because this is really going to blow up the world.
she could be an outlier, though. You never know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if she kills everyone, then literally all golden goodies could be hers.
Yeah, but what's the point of being on top with no one to lord over?
She'd have everybody who's left in the vault.
Suppose that's true. She'd be the one true queen at that point.
Well, we are looking for the means to get into the, I'm assuming, central chamber, where there's the control tower, or main controls, to more or less cease the transportation of this plane into our world.
Right. Well, as far as getting into the central chamber where Xerxes is, we can't help you too much. Targarth and the other commanders, that is, are the only ones allowed in there. We don't frankly even know where the entrance is. As far as the rest of the area, we could maybe describe some of the where you could go. And he pulls something out from his pocket. It looks like it's a spherical object with part of it cut out. So there's a flat plane and the rest of it is a spherical. And you can see little designs on that flat cutout on this sphere. And he hands it out to you and he says, this will get you through some of the doors, not all of them. There's higher levels of access than what even we have, but this will open up a couple for you. As far as getting to her, you'd probably have to go to the 3rd floor somehow and get into her chambers. There might be some way in from there. Maybe there's a way in from Xanathura's lab that we don't know about. We don't really go in there. On your way up, you'll probably encounter Aslo. He's sort of guarding the 3rd floor. I wouldn't suggest attempting diplomacy with him. He hates Xanathura more than anyone else in the Legion, but he is not going to diplomatize with you.
Any tips, any weaknesses that we can look for with him?
Well, weaknesses, I'm not sure. We haven't studied him and his shortcomings in that regard. He is a powerful combatant, both in melee and in spellcasting, and he's surrounded by his cultists most of the time. I can perhaps key you in on a bit of information you might not have otherwise known. He is not a goblin, as you might at first think. He's some sort of shape changer. We're not 100% sure. He doesn't change shape in front of us too often, but we've seen the shadows moving in the corners of the hallways before we round them, and something about him is not right. We know he's not what he seems he is, some sort of monster, but he's, I guess you could say, the closest thing to the religious leader of the Ironfang Legion, fanatic, or whatever you'd want to call him instead, but he's a bit crazy. But yeah, you can expect spells to be slung and for him to close in on melee. He is a powerful combatant, not to be trifled with.
So if he's the religious leader, it would be mostly divine spells he would be casting, most likely. I take it he's not an arcane caster. All right.
No, the only arcane casters that you'll find in the Legion are, well, Xanathura, and then we have a few alchemists, but those aren't exactly the same thing.
I'm not really sure where to go, crew.
I know, this is overwhelming. It's a lot.
I don't know what will become of this thin ice alliance we have in this room. To tell you the truth, I am quite sick of all this combat and bloodshed. Before this physical form I am now, I was but a mere middle-aged, tubby jolly man. Now I am this
Cabbage farmer.
mildly fit drow of dark elf, I don't know, but I will say that I'm not sure what happened to you or what brought you all here to the Legion. I can tell you that I do understand and know what it is about trying to fight for oneself and one's freedom. My father perished on the first attack on Phaendar. I had not seen him for many years, and nor will I see him any longer. For that I do have a disdain in my mouth, but through these months I've been able to reflect and realize you had your reasons. I hold none of you ill will in this room, but anything we can do to get to point A to point B and just stop this madness as soon as possible with the least amount of bloodshed, honestly, that would be my primary goal.
That is a concern, I think, for all of us. We want to limit the bloodshed. We want peace, and we recognize it must be through some avenues of violence, but we want to minimize that.
He nods and he says, well, those of us here, we have duties that we have to continue to attend to in the coming week. If we do come across each other again while here, we will pull our punches, so to speak, but as long as there are observers, we do have to play a role and at least seem like we're your enemy, at least if you make yourselves known as such. Try to keep as many people alive as you can, but don't expect to find too many allies here that are going to just let you pass. It'd be best if you're not seen at all, but I don't know how much luck you're going to have with that. We can maybe cover up some of your tracks if things go south, but don't expect us to be able to cover too much.
if you are able to make it to Azersi, and if you are able to somehow convince her or whatever, we at least have a shot. At least maybe a decent percentage of the Legion has their doubts about this whole endeavor at this point. Targrith, chief among them. If Azersi comes around with Targrith on her side, Kralos is just going to follow whatever Azersi says. So there might be an internal squabble and we might have to cull some numbers, but eventually most of the Legion would be amicable to the idea of at least attempting peace. Even if it's unlikely. I'm not even sure if it's possible, but like I said, if you somehow convince Azersi that it can be done, her word will hold weight.
Gideon will nod. You are right. We all have our roles to play, and I will not begrudge you what you must do if we meet on the battlefield. And I hope that you do not begrudge what we may have to do. But no, in our own ways, I think we are working towards a common goal. The political power among those here and Targrith. You think it is enough that you can, in the fallout, unite the remaining soldiers, the Hobgoblin Legion?
Oh, if we have Azersi and Targrith and Kralos and those loyal to them all on the same side, it won't be the entirety of the Legion that we bring to our side, but it'll be whatever's left standing after the fallout.
It'll be enough. The rest will rout or perish.
Oh, yeah. They'll probably perish.
Is there a safe place that the four of us may go that's maybe not traveled or seen through much, where we can potentially rest or hold up that wouldn't cause you much trouble and not bring trouble to us?
Yeah, the safest place I can think of is probably the officers' quarters. It's one of the two doors just outside of here into the main chamber. It's the one to the north. That's technically where we stay, or where we used to stay, but the Shaitan advisor that we brought to our side 2 years ago made a new golem of his own, and it's been sometimes causing issues in that room when somebody makes too much noise. So it's pretty much been abandoned, but if you go in there and just keep quiet, you won't be bothered by anyone. You'll need the key I just gave you to get in anyways, so anyone who's not an officer won't be able to get in anyways, so that's probably the best shot you have.
Jessup looks at the other three. What should we do now?
Tally-ho!
Where are we going then?
Yes.
Like, he told us that, if I heard him right, to go to the 3rd floor because that's where Azersi's quarters are?
So he said that he doesn't know exactly where the entrance to the inner, like the core of the Onyx Citadel is, because only the commanders are allowed to go there. But his suspicion is that it is on the 3rd floor, either through Azersi's chambers or through Xanathra's workshop. That's his best guess. And he says that, yeah, you'd have to get to the 3rd floor to at least look around. Or he would also maybe say, if it's not on the 3rd floor, then there might be some blueprint of the Citadel that is being kept in Azersi's quarters that would show you where it is. But such sort of private information about the inner workings of the Citadel wouldn't be anywhere but one of those two places, because those are the two people who basically run the place. And he would describe a little bit to you, saying, so again, like I just said, this door here to the north outside goes to the officer quarters that he mentioned, and that would be the safest place to go if you need to rest or hide out. And he would say that the other door here leads deeper in, and he would basically say, the whole Citadel is sort of a labyrinth. It was constructed that way on purpose to make it difficult to take by force. It also makes it extremely inconvenient to get anywhere, to be honest, but in order to get anywhere, you kind of have to go through the whole place. So it's going to be a bit of a trek. There's going to be a lot of rooms, and you're probably going to go through a bunch of people to get anywhere in here, but you'll just have to keep opening door by door.
So,
Sure. Okay, DM.
Yes, we're all set. So, I guess if we're ready to leave.
Gideon will address the officers in the room before he leaves. We must deliberate from here, but I do appreciate if you will allow me. I know we each serve different gods or no gods at all, but I see it as providence that we met here. I hope you know that I am honest when I say I am praying for your safety. I do wish for peace.
He just kind of nods back at you as you guys get ready to head out. And then, like, once all the conversations are done and you guys are making your way towards the door, he would speak up and say, one last piece of advice. If you do make it to the 3rd floor, don't take the stairs up. That's where Xanathura is working on her spell, and if you are going to fight her, you're not going to want to do it alone. And that's just his kind of parting remark.
Alone? How else are we going to do it?
You mean, when he says that, Jason, do you mean like alone as in like one person trying to sneak up the stairs to look? Or are you talking about like the 4 of us alone?
He's basically just saying, like, if the 4 of you go up there on your own, like, he doesn't think you stand a chance.
Okay, well, that's good enough. And Jessup will...
Well, what does he know?
Yeah, well, Jessup will address him, and as my illustrious colleague mentioned, we very much appreciate the information. We will do what we can to not cause you any trouble, and we will do what we can, promise to, with our dying breath, try to stop this catastrophic plan. If, however, the 4 of us are to fall, it will be up to a select 4 of you. 4 of you to carry on.
If you wouldn't mind,
convictions must not waver.
would you mind sharing with us some of your abilities and/or class levels?
Keep your hands up if you are level 17.
17?
Put your hands down.
We might accept a level 16, but just 1. The rest of you, 17 or higher.
Yep, you must double down your conviction and stop her no matter what.
I know there are 6 of you here, but 2 of you must be left behind. Sorry, I had to.
Okay, so now that we have set up our backup party...
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, in canon, totally justified. They were going to commit treason anyway. Some of them were talking about it.
Although, let's be honest, if we are playing these guys, if/when we die, I want to actually be Targareth. I'm calling him right now.
Oh, come on. Fine, I'll be this guy. The
I want to be the squirrely golem
Nigel?
with bombs. The alchemist from there.
It is Nigel.
What was his name? Nixel? Nigel?
Nixel.
What was his name?
Who?
The green guy.
The squirrely one.
No.
Oh, the green one.
Noxel was the
Oh,
green guy.
Noxel. Nigel's pretty close.
Like Noxus. And Oran, I suppose that leaves you. You get to be the purple one who suggested assassination.
They come up with a plan that if for some reason they must try to assassinate Xerxes, it is best for their families to have fake names that they are going to be using henceforth.
Yes. Codename Nigel.
Codename Nigel.
Isn't that actually the name of the guy from Codename Kids Next Door? Isn't number 1 Nigel?
I have no idea.
Number 1's Nigel. Yeah, kid 1.
I love it. I hope Jessup dies. I really like this guy.
Do they have names?
Nigel Uno. Nigel Uno is his name.
Yeah. So the purple one is Azkara. Red is Drakzul. Blue is Thulgrak. Orange is I have orange wrong. Orange is Vorkal.
Vorkal? I want to be Vorkal.
Green is Noxel. And then pink is Karza.
Yep,
Karza.
Vorkal.
Wow, okay, so whoever wrote this AP, kudos. You didn't have to name them all, but you did. That's some dedication.
That was just Jason pulling those names out of his butt.
Oh yeah? If it
Spur
was
of the
Jason?
moment.
He just typed some letters down. He's like, this is Kershimka.
I'd say it's definitely the prerogative that you could have left that up to DMs, but those were all a little too consistently hobgoblin-ish.
Yeah, no, I came up with all of them except for Noxel.
Nigel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, yep, I'm done. We give up. He said we couldn't do it, so I guess we just give up.
Guess I'll die.
Yep, guess we'll die. We'll recast. Well, maybe. I don't know. Kieran, do you have another casting of invisibility?
Well, it's at least nice to know Gideon doesn't dip into the arcane, huh, there, Oran?
Right. Surprised he wasn't like, guys, I got this. I can mass invisibility us.
All right, okay, you want the what?
It's a 1,000 gold piece glove that I got.
I could. Don't tempt me. Don't act like I couldn't. I have the ability. I actually do.
There we go. Yeah.
Did you just waste your miracle so that you can cast communal invisibility right now?
Right?
No,
Right.
no, it's not a waste. It was on purpose.
So here's the thing. I could cast it one more time, or I could cast invisibility 4 times, which would eat up 4 second level spells. But I mean, it's probably fine just to cast invisibility mass again.
Sounds like somebody wants to save a 7th level spell slot.
I'm telling you, I have a cool spell, and if I don't get to use it, I will be very cross.
Is invisibility mass 7th level?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I
I don't know why I said ma'am.
What did I do?
That just
What did I
came
do?
out. That was not intentional. It just, the brain said what the brain said.
So it's either 4 level 2s or 1 level 7?
Yeah. I just did a level 7. That's fine. I have 1 more slot and I ain't using it, which means I can't be a large dragon today, which is sad, but that's okay.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Is that your special thing?
Nope. My special thing. I'm real pumped about it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Can't wait. Hopefully it comes up. I'll cry if it doesn't.
It's probably a breath of life on Oran.
A breath of life, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Fine,
it's just
I return the favor.
it's just a better version of haste. Haha.
Blessing of Fervor? I already have that.
Okay, you know what? You're gonna keep this up just staying with the hobgoblins, okay? He's gonna hang up with feet.
Okay. So did he tell us, I'm sorry if I missed it, what is, like, these stairs, do they go down?
Oh yeah, if you want to ask about some of those things, we can kind of go over that. So he would tell you that the stairs going up go to the gargoyle nest,
Ooh, let's not do that.
and the stairs going down go to the stables.
Okay, let's not do that either. Good thing we came right in the middle, because either of those other options sucks.
Yeah, I don't know how the AP, like, the adventure assumes you tackle this massive base because there's so many points of entry, but, like, we did great. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, the adventure is written as if you come through the front, across the bridge. You
Oh,
fight
wow.
the warmonger that is on the bridge, a CR19 construct, and then you go from there.
Is it really? That's interesting.
Well, I mean, they have a whole bunch of like stuff. Like they talk about the camp on the lakeshore. They're like, you could just hand wave all these encounters. But the guy standing on the bridge, that's an encounter that we're going to give the book. And then it says that the hobgoblins just use magic to get across so that they don't have to fight the thing on the bridge. And I'm just like, okay, well then why do you have the thing on the bridge? Because that's just what the players are going to do.
Yeah. I don't trust the encounters in this book after that stupid Giamorn or whatever it was. That's just unfair. Like, I don't trust
Which
this
one?
book anymore. The giant creature that we didn't end up fighting, we just
Zarzoran.
eased it. Zarzoran, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, so a warmonger, if you had fought that, is a neutral huge construct with a DR15, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks at plus 37.
Oh, the dude, the neutral Earth thing.
Yeah, that was the Zarzoran.
Yeah, that was dumb.
This is another creature of the same CR.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah. That was like, oops, you stepped on a landmine. Sucks to be you.
Yep.
That's what it felt like.
I have a question, Jason. I have a question.
Yes, okay, yes, uh-huh.
So, if we had killed those guys back in book 5, would this have been more difficult? Would this have been possible? Would there have been other, like, different people in here? Did you just put those guys in here because we saved them? Like, is there any, like,
It would have been
behind the curtain?
exceedingly more difficult. I didn't have you guys roll diplomacy because given the current DC and Jessup's diplomacy bonus, I knew that you would succeed. Had you not spared Targrith and his men, there would have been rolls involved here for sure because it wouldn't necessarily be a guarantee.
Interesting. So we did a good
Wait,
thing.
so all that deliberate, because that was a
Well, there was contention. That was
that one was
like,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
this is why you allow 4 survivors.
I forget the
Hey,
signs on all
whoa!
that.
I wasn't the only one that wanted to kill him at
Yeah.
first.
Kieran definitely
did,
wanted
right?
to kill
Come
them.
on.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yep.
I was just saying, if I remember correctly, and I don't want to paint anyone as a villain, but it was an uphill battle, is what I remember. I was struggling so hard to advocate for grace and mercy. It was like the world was against me.
I would just like to point out every issue that our party has had that has ended up turning out well. Jessup's been on the winning side. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's why we let you do the talking.
The tongue is mightier than the sword.
I have to say, there are sometimes though I really wish Aiden was here. He would have had some really interesting things to say at this particular instance. Even
Yeah, rapid fire.
He's dead.
Right? Rapid fire. Keep shooting.
I wonder
till they're
about
all
that.
Dead. I agree with Kieran. Kill them all.
They fall just like troglodytes.
But what I want for their Mathis.
All just like troglodytes.
Starting to wonder if Aiden wasn't the bad guy.
Nope. DM it said chaotic good on his character sheet.
Come to find out through the lineage, it was Jessup's family that started the Goblin Wars.
It was Jessup's family.
Could have been.
Yeah. All right. So we already know what this door is. Should we check this out just to scope it out or not worry about it? Actually, can we... Oh, wait, no. Actually, yes. Can we look in here just in case I have to dimension door? I'll have an idea of where I'm going.
Sure. Yeah, so you guys go to the door in this chamber and you hold up that sphere that he gave you and you place the flat end to the door and you see those blue, the green patterns, and then they flash blue, the door slides open and you're able to leave here. You're invisible again, so you're able to make it up to this other door that Kieran wants to peek into. And again, you place the key next to the door and it opens with a flash of blue. And you see...
It would be
this
really
chamber.
funny if they were lying to us and Targrith was waiting around the corner to do like max sneak attack damage on Kieran as he opened the door.
Yeah, 5 sneak attack.
Oh man,
roll
Kieran
at
goes
once,
down in one round.
300 damage.
Oh, there goes your
Oh.
214 HP.
But then I get to play Targrith, so it's all good.
And then he backstabs Jessup.
So yeah, so you open the door to this chamber, and again, it looks like the officers' quarters. It's a bit crammed with bunk beds, and there's not a whole lot of space left over in here. Looks like this housed several members of the officer staff at the Legion, but it looks like it's been left alone for a few days now. It doesn't look like anybody's really been in here for a while. And you remember it's probably because they were having issues with the golem that the Shaitan made, kind of reacting to loud noises or something like that. So it looks like this room's kind of been abandoned for a while.
Kieran like looks at the beds and like shudders at the thought of sleeping in somebody else's bed. Like that's just gross. Are the beds made? Did they at least make the beds?
Yeah.
Okay. He does respect
That's
that.
Kieran's real issue. Yeah. I will not sleep in a bed that has not been made.
These are hobgoblins we're talking about. They have standards.
She storms back. He storms back into the like central room. Well, call your maids. Get them here now.
How dare you?
did they clean the sheets between each person that uses it? Does housekeeping come in
Oh,
here?
I
How
doubt
often?
it, man. Ugh, gross. It's probably. Do hobgoblins smell bad?
I mean,
Well, that's just a blanket. That sounds racist.
Wow. Yeah.
That
Wow.
sounds racist.
Wow. 2 hobgoblins smell bad.
It's a
they
legit question.
probably smell about as bad as any soldier who is
Right.
in encampment for a long time.
Their stink level isn't based on their species.
Kieran. Well, no, that's a legit question though.
Actually, it is.
Yeah.
A little.
Like honestly,
yeah,
like
it-
different races, different species can have smells that other species find offensive or disgusting.
Troglodytes
so-
are known for smelling well.
Exactly. And Oran murdered them in cold blood. So
Oran murdered them. I'm pretty sure Oran got knocked out and someone else killed the den mother. Not pointing any fingers.
yeah, that was
You were
intense.
there.
Oh,
You
that's
didn't
true. I guess
speak
none of you guys were there. That's
you did
true.
not speak against the actions of
Genocide. That's pretty bad.
We needed the cave.
It's gonna forever haunt us.
Honestly, it is an interesting exploration of survival, right? Because it does paint some sympathy towards the hobgoblins narrative, realizing that the original survivors of Phaendar also made some choices.
The book made us do it, man. What else were we supposed to do?
The book made me.
I was just following orders.
Hang on, I got something for you. You keep going with your story, Jace. You keep playing your game.
Okay, Kieran's gonna take a good look in here and like map out the mental like proximity of where this is, just in case things go really south. And if he's in range, he can dimension door there without fear of like ending up in a wall or something.
Okay.
I think with dimension door you're shunted if you go into a wall, or maybe you don't. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but,
something like that, I believe.
But yeah, he wants to at least like if he needs to teleport, at least now he can see what it looks like. So, all right, I guess this is the only other option for door because we don't want to go down. I don't know of any other way to go up.
Okay.
Can we listen at this door?
Sure. Roll perception.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, a 19. You don't hear anything on the other side of the door.
Okay. Gideon, get your sparkly bum over here and listen at the door.
Kick it open.
Clink, 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 clink. Shiny.
You're more than
perception
180 feet away.
check. No.
34 for Gideon. You listen at the door and you don't hear anything.
I bet it's another hallway. All right, can we use the orb to try to open this door?
Sure. Yep. If you place it on the door, again, green patterns, flash blue, door opens, and you are met with a surprising hallway.
Hallway, more doors.
Who could have expected? So I think contrary to what they expect us to do, we should go to this door first.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. We'll probably go in order. All right, so let's listen at this door.
Okay. You listen at that door. I'm going to just not belabor the point too much. You don't hear anything at that door, and if you open it up, you don't even need the key. This is one of the ones that just opens, and you look inside, and I will do the other one as well, because you would go there next, and they are both pretty much the same. These look like barracks. They are fairly immaculately kept rooms that seem to have these seem to be where the officers have now been staying after they moved rooms. So these are more well-maintained.
Kieran walks over here. Is there anything strange about this wall?
Is there a secret door there, maybe? Is there a secret door?
Nope.
Are you sure?
You
Clearly.
all take 20 on perception checks, and it's just a wall.
Is there anything over here? Or over here? Is there anything strange going
When
on?
do you want your invisibility to wear out?
I have stone cunning. Is there anything special about the wall?
Nope.
I have trap sense. I also have rogue abilities. Gideon can do
It's
anything.
Just a wall.
I just have to say once again, one of the few times I pre-buff with mirror image and it runs out before it's ever effective. That's literally the story of my life with this AP.
If it's gonna keep you guys from being able to sleep at night, I can just do that. And then
What are you doing? No, I discovered a secret passage.
Wow, I feel betrayed. It was a secret room of what are they called? The siege equipment.
Yeah.
No,
it's
I
more
like to think
ballista.
it was an Easter
More
egg.
ballista. Yeah.
Players are never intended to get there. Just like the coders who designed the map left some funny notes in there to each other, and so like you're not supposed to be able to clip through that wall. There's not even a door there. It's just like it was empty pocket space. So the map editors put something funny.
it's just a troll face.
That's where the final boss fight happens. All right, so we're gonna peek around this corner. See if there's anything.
Right. So yeah, so you peek around here.
Oran just charges
And-
forward. Leroy!
You see
More
the
doors.
hallway turns and goes north into another set of double doors similar to the ones that you saw earlier.
25 perception on these doors.
These ones, you do hear noises as if they are open to the outside. but it's kind of like a little bit off of the distance to the right there. And like you guys, since you can see the map, you can kind of see.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
there's a balcony over there, but like your characters might not realize that. But
This links to this somehow, is that right?
what you're pinging right there is just a balcony. It doesn't link to anything. The stairs would, but that area is just a balcony.
Right. These stairs come up here.
Yeah, those stairs go upwards.
Because we had saw this when we had a survey.
Yeah, that was
of
in the sands. You saw the sands. You saw this balcony, and then stairs going up.
So this is kind of overlaid technically over this.
What?
This building is technically continues from here, so it's kind of like here.
I didn't see where you were pinging the first this building, you said.
Oh, I see. This building. This one over here.
That is the second floor of the guardhouse. So if I were to put you back onto floor 1, it's the second floor of the bit over there to the far right. And then if I were to put you onto floor 3, those steps just go, you can kind of see they go up to H28 here.
I see. Okay, gotcha.
So that's how that works.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well.
Gideon will.
Oh, yeah, Gideon can listen. Don't trust
Well, I
Gideon.
did.
Oh, you did?
34,
Okay.
but...
Before you listen, you hear voices, but they're very faint. You can't pick out exactly what they're saying. They're either speaking hushed, or they're being drowned out by the other noises that are going on around the Citadel. But there's activity, it seems.
There's activity, it seems. That was me relaying all
Okay.
I don't think that these ones will be friendly.
Probably not. Where did he say that religious leader was again? You think this is who we can expect?
He said he was guarding the entrance to the 3rd floor.
That's probably who it is then. Kieran's gonna cast Mirror Image again. We'll see if this one proves fruitful.
If I may, Kieran, before you do that, may I regale you with a... No, stop!
Oh, okay.
Wanted to regale you with a story.
Okay.
And Jessup will need all of your undivided attention.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say...
this is familiar. I've heard this one before.
I thought you were gonna say, I need all of your underwear, and I don't know why.
Oh, that's for altar self. Don't ask.
Jeez. Okay, what's this? The Requiem of the Fallen Priest King. Whoa.
Yes. So Jessup will regale you of that story. So basically, the effect tells a story of a mighty priest king who seemed to defy time by snatching near victory from an overwhelming number of enemies. When you complete the performance, you gain the ability to accelerate time once, which must be used in the next 10 minutes. When you perform this masterpiece, you gain the ability to spend a swift action to perform a non-magical action that normally requires a move action or standard action. For example, you can make a full attack and then spend a swift action to take a normal move, load a crossbow, etc., etc. So yeah, we all get some cool stuff we could do.
Ooh, I like it. This is
so
awesome.
we have to use it in the next 10 minutes. I've had this for a while. I just never used it. So yeah, I do have to use 8 rounds of my bardic performance, which I got 40 of. So
holy cow. Wow. Okay. So within 10 minutes. All right. Hopefully.
Yep, so if we get shenanigans right off the bat, then I guess we can use it.
Okay. A non-magical action that requires a move action or standard action. You could make a full attack, then spend a swift action to make a normal move. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. All right,
so kind of haste-ish, sort of.
But only Jessup can do that, right?
No, I'm giving it to everybody.
Also, we all kind of.
If you pay attention, if you don't pay attention to me, then no, you don't. But it takes 1 minute for me to regale you with this story, and then Kieran, then I will say yes, you should buff.
I'll cast the spell myself.
Okay. I was going to say I can cast Stone Skin Communal and use 1,000 diamond dust.
All right, then I won't.
That's 150, right?
140.
140,
oh,
right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 140. Little Stone Skin's action.
Don't need to cast Clay Skin.
So thankfully this will last for 140 minutes divided by the 4 of us, so it's like about 35 minutes-ish. And then Kieran's good to go. We're gonna open these doors and see if we can fight something before our buffs run out.
All right. So you open the doors. And you see this.
It'd be really funny if that didn't even open the door. Okay, let's peek around this corner. SWAT team style. Darn it! What the heck?
So you see that this opens up to a balcony that offers a splendid view of the regions to the east of the Citadel. As you open the door, you can see that there are, standing on the balcony, 3 lookouts.
Oh boy.
Their backs are currently turned away from you, so they're looking out into the eastern direction. They're basically overlooking the bridge that leads up to the Citadel itself.
Sneak up and push them off.
Given the noise that has gone on and the outside, and the fact that these doors are basically silent, they don't hear the door open. But as you guys enter this area, you'll have to make a stealth check against their perception to see if they hear you.
Are we still invisible? I can't remember.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We came in and they were sitting cross-legged because they were also listening to Jessup's story.
They're like, we don't know.
No, Jessup spends 3 more rounds of bardic performance to give them the buff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to do a stealth, you
All right,
said?
a little bit better. I got a 34 this time.
Ooh, there you go.
Were we visible or are we still invisible?
We're invisible.
We're invisible.
Oh, okay, so plus 20 to that.
Ooh, nice.
27?
43 for Jessup.
All right, so 43, 27, 34, and can we get
Plus 20.
31? All right. So lowest roll being a
27.
27. They don't appear to hear you. Your movements are masked by the cacophony of sounds that I described before that kind of pervade this citadel.
Kieran, I smell a chain lightning.
Well, I was trying to think if there was like any cool spell that pushes them off of the ledge, because that would be just really funny.
Yeah, no, it should be easy though. I'll take the one on the right. You get the one on the left, and we just walk up right behind them, grab them all silent like, and snap the necks, just like.
I'm assuming if we want to get closer, we'll have to do continually.
Oh, I'm
more
sure.
stealth checks.
No, if they're not. No, if they're facing out, then they don't hear or see you if you're crouched. So just crouch.
Jason's gonna do that to us, and I don't want him to. Wait, yeah, I don't know where. Jason, what direction are you guys facing again?
There's no facing in Pathfinder, he says.
Oh, there should be.
There's flavor facing.
Yeah, I don't have any spells that do like pushing damage. The alternative is we could go through this door first and then come back. I don't know if they would alert anybody from up these stairs.
Well,
the
only pickle you could have, Sarah, is what if we open that door and then we do have to fight enemies here, and the next thing you know, we're flanked.
Yeah, it's not ideal either way. Because we could make noise and then these guys could hear us and flank us out here. So it's like you could get flanked.
Didn't Jason say that it's like a silence, though? Effect? They can't hear us through the other side?
No, the doors that you've been eavesdropping through the doors this whole time.
No, we have special skills for that.
Okay. I don't think so.
No, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
I was joking originally, but can we just attempt to sneak up on them and take them out coup de grace style all at once?
You can only coup de grace a helpless creature.
Yeah.
Do you want us, do you want me to try to diplomatize with them? Because you know that will never work.
No.
You would only have advantage on the first attack. That's how it would work. Or not advantage, a bonus or whatever.
You'd just get a surprise round.
Yeah. Kieran is flying, by the way. He's just always like flying off the ground, so. I don't
really know what to do. If we want to sneak by, that's probably what Jessup would recommend, knowing that. But it's like, I just hate the feeling of, I just like RP'd with that group. I want to avoid bloodshed, and then we get to these 3. Let's knock them off the edge.
And then run away.
I'm inclined to sneak around them. That's my vote.
But do we sneak around to go here? Because we can't see that. We don't know what's around there. For all we know, it's just a wall.
No. We do because of the sands.
Oh, because that's the outside. Okay.
My vote is this way.
I just want to float up and listen at this door.
Okay, roll perception.
33.
33, you don't hear anything on the other side.
Do we know from the sands if these stairs go up or down?
You know that they go up, and you know that they lead to that H28 area with the other ballista. You don't know if there are more people stationed up there, if those ballista are actually manned.
Interesting.
But we could, in theory, sneak all the way past them.
I mean, once we get closer, they might still hear us. It could still be combat.
Yeah,
so we can
I was
try.
technically giving them a penalty based on distance, but...
Yeah, it could, but we don't know that. It could, though.
We can certainly try.
Oh, I also forgot that they technically get their favorite enemy bonus against all of you guys.
Just,
Perception
did
checks.
Oran prepare silence? Is that a cleric spell?
No, it is, but no, Oran did not prepare silence.
So, what you doing then?
We're going to try to sneak around. This is going to go well.
To go up the stairs?
Yeah, Gideon wants to go up the stairs.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Okay.
What's this way? What do we gain by going here?
An alternative way to go up that doesn't involve combat, maybe? More allies that we could sway to our side?
You think there might be another set of stairs?
It's possible.
Oh, I suppose that's possible.
Or, I'm just gonna put it out there so you guys don't yell at me, it could be a horrible fight where we almost die. So that's also a possibility.
I just, based on the layout of the building, I don't see stairs there being, but they could exist. They could exist somewhere in the middle of that black space.
1 second there, Gideon. I'm sure Jessup can help you with this. With my 36 engineering, I believe that it is physically possible that there are stairs on the ascent.
That's not a matter of physically possible. Yeah, I could go that way too.
The completionist in me wants to go through the doors.
I'm done deliberating. Let's go.
Gideon charges ahead to the enemies on the balcony.
You open this door. Again, it requires to be unlocked like the others, and you see that the hallway kind of mirrors where you just came from. It goes up and then curves around. And then if you kind of peer across the distance there, you notice that, again, like where you came from, that is a long hallway that goes down. And at the very, very end of the hallway, almost as if it's standing vigil over that final door, there is a creature.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like creatures.
Oh, dude, he looks way cooler than Gideon.
Yeah,
Some
right.
sort of...
Oi, oi.
Imagine if Gideon looked like that.
Man, now that is shining armor.
Oh.
Now that's
All right.
a knight of
You're about to
Ozum.
get-
That is.
Oh.
Now that's a knight of Ozum. I like that.
He doesn't need a shield.
Nope.
Why is that so funny?
His body is the shield.
Dude, that's like
Yeah.
if Kieran wore armor.
I bet he never falters.
I bet it's a
dude.
woman.
Oh man, that's fine. That's
Actually, it's
fine.
probably a golem, so there's no gender.
Yeah, it looks like it's some sort of golem.
All right, interesting. So,
And then it looks like this hallway has another hallway going north in the middle of it.
see, the thing is, though, if there's something guarding doors, I feel like we want to go through those doors. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get what you're putting down, and I say yes.
You know what? It's a game after all. I want to know what's in those doors. Let's just go there.
Yeah, I don't care if we fight Golem.
I can't not go through the doors now. Like, we've got to go through
There's
the
like
doors.
door? I have to go through the door. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't go through the door.
We are dungeon crawling, where we need different key passes to get through different doors, so we know we need to find another key pass, and then there are mini bosses blocking doors.
The
There is
developers
fog of
might
war.
have hidden loot over there, either special loot or maybe collectibles. The feathers. I need the feathers. I need all
Probably-
the feathers.
Jason's probably like, oh man, they were so close to progressing the story, and then they went through the doors. Now we're just like doing stuff that doesn't matter.
Well, no, it does feel exactly like you're playing through a game. It's like, oh, that's the way to go? Definitely going the other way then.
Yeah.
Want to really make sure I explore this whole map before I progress.
That's just common sense.
Yeah, obviously.
See? DM's on board.
Was this mentioned by Nigel at all?
He had mentioned that the reason that they kind of vacated the room he told you about is because a golem kept showing up and doing things when they made too much noise.
Huh.
So it sounds like this golem is just standing there, like kind of standing guard over whatever room is behind him. And whatever room is behind him is right next to the room where people were making noise.
I see.
He's the noise police.
So what do you want to do? Should we fight the golem and try to see what it's guarding? Should we try to quietly check out these other doors first? What would you like to do? Would you want to go back up the stairs like Gideon had originally mentioned? I kind of want to see what's behind the golem, but...
Yes, I say we slowly go through the door here. It looks like there might be a pathway here. Maybe not. And then I guess if we get closer to the golem, we'll figure it out. But that thing is intriguing me. And it shouldn't, but it is.
I mean, if worse comes to worse, at least now I know where the barracks or where the officers' quarters are. I can always get within reach of all of you and Dimentador us there, so we can try it and see how it goes. And maybe it doesn't have the ability to see invisibility, so maybe we can get the jump on it. Just for good measure, I'm going to shut these doors unless they shut by themselves. I can't remember. If
They shut behind you whenever you step through.
All right. So my vote is that we make our way down the corridor and try to sneak up on this golem.
Are we going to open the doors as we go?
Obviously.
Sure.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. That was a stupid question.
Wow, so hostile. No reason. Just woke up, chose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oran, we all become uninvisible because you were hostile to me.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow, buddy, come on, you ruined it. Look at what you've done. See, this is exactly what I would expect from someone who senselessly murdered troglodytes.
Listen, I know you're mad because that guy down the hall's way cooler than you, but don't take it out. Don't take it out on me, okay?
Okay. All right, fine.
I didn't build your token. All right,
fine. Okay. I'm not an artist. I have to steal all my art. And then when other people do better than me, it makes me feel inferior, okay?
No, I was joking, though. We don't have to open the doors. I don't have a
good
preference one way or the other way.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm totally bothering myself. I don't know why I keep having to say uninvisible when visible is completely a word.
Invisible's a good word.
It keeps driving me nuts. I know it's driving you guys crazy. I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to call you out. But
Irregardless, there is a word for uninvisibility.
Uninvisibility.
I do stuff like that all the time, though, and I'm like, really? There's an easier way to get around this.
there's a
the word invisible does exist.
This is but like this happens sometimes. It's okay, guys. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm the voice of the party, not the brains. We've discussed this. Let's carry on.
All right. So you're checking that room then?
Checking the room.
Okay. You see that this room is much like the ones from below. It is more barracks.
This tower's boring.
It is a military.
It's basically a hotel. It's basically a hotel.
As you get to the middle bit there, you see that the hallway goes north to the edge of the tower and then two more branching pathways out.
I mean, obviously we have to check these out, right?
Oh, of course.
So you see that both of these are stairways leading down.
Oh, there was stairs.
I wasn't wrong, but that's the wrong way. We don't want to go there.
Yeah, but we didn't say necessarily that they were going.
This is true. I just said stairs. Yeah. Actually, I may have said upstairs.
Yeah, we were hoping for the upstairs. What's up, stairs? That's what we were hoping for.
Okay. Anyway.
We can't even hear you back there with all these range penalties.
Right.
He's sulking. He wants to go this way. He's sulking. He's letting you guys have fun.
You were the one that were like, on the other hand, maybe not.
Is this golem not moving?
It's just standing there.
It's just a statue. It's literally just an inert statue. We've been scared this whole time.
Out of curiosity, are any of you capable of rolling a stealth check less than 20?
Yes.
Well, not while invisible.
Not while invisible.
Yes, I am, because I have a -2 to my stealth.
Oh wait, I have a -4.
Okay.
Actually, though, in hindsight, I could have been less stupid, but that's okay.
So,
Can we roll something?
So Oran, you are the only one who will need to roll a stealth check if you walk up to the doorway here.
Ha! 28.
Okay, so the golem just stands there. Doesn't really react at all to your presence. Doesn't seem to notice you.
I'm so stealthy. I'm like a ninja, guys.
Okay. It's definitely not going to see us open this door.
The door just randomly
This door
opened.
just randomly opened.
And watch, it's definitely from the shape. It's more barracks. It's absolutely more barracks.
for sure.
It's on the shape.
for sure.
Don't metagame.
Show me show me what's behind door number.
2 birds is worth a hand in a bush.
What do
Shut
you know
up,
what
guys.
they say about that?
Shut up.
So, okay, so you open the door?
Yes.
Okay. So, 2 things. 1, you open the door, and it is more barracks. 2,
Shocker.
as you open the door, you do see that the golem kind of looks in your direction, like it has registered the fact that the door opened, but it doesn't see anybody, so it doesn't really make a move. But the door behind it opens up, and you hear a voice saying, "Do I feel footsteps in the hallway? Is someone coming to see me?"
Oh no! Is it the bounty hunter guy?
No! Kieran
I love
teleports
this guy.
back to
Oh
the
no!
Oh, God.
Kieran's gonna lose his
God.
mind.
Yeah, Kieran has PTSD.
I
Lord.
love this guy. Oh, he's so fun.
Oh,
Great villain. My favorite, maybe.
Jason's like, guys, it's not even him. It's a completely different character you've never met before.
Oh, no.
He's like, I'm just bad at character voices.
it's not Kaal, it's Jaal,
His cousin.
his
I'm
cousin.
the slightly more attractive and higher level gunslinger.
Slightly more attractive.
You see the door open, and I'm not going to really show you the room, but you see 2 figures pick their head out. One of them, as you've heard, and the other one I can't really technically fit the space-wise on here, but it, like, I'll kind of, like, there. Can you see
it's
those tokens?
the genie.
Oh, the shaitan.
Yeah, so you see the
Oh.
shaitan is there, accompanied by the gunslinger from before, Kaal.
Oh.
So you see Kaal step out, and he's looking around, and he immediately notices you. And,
Oh, poop.
like, I guess you can roll a stealth check again if you'd like. But, 1, the guy behind him has tremor sense, and 2, his perception is really, really, really high.
There's no tremor if we don't move.
I got a 37.
A 46.
All right, what did...
Hey, 34.
Hey, not so bad, Oran.
Oh gosh, Gideon.
There we go. There it
What
is.
do you-
All right. There's our natural 1 stealth from Gideon.
Hey everyone, I've been having a real fun time. I'm glad that we finally rustled up the storm. It's about time.
So yeah, so he steps out and he says, "Well, look what we have here. We have an open door and the sound of somebody in heavy armor, and I can't see anybody. Well, doesn't that just sound like intruders? What do you think, my friend?" And then that's when you hear Shakib's voice. And he says, "Well, yes, I do in fact sense 3, maybe 4 people in that hallway. Why don't you guys go ahead and show yourselves? We can have a nice little conversation here."
Oh, it doesn't have to be this way. Kieran's gonna get shot in the head again.
Conversation or a bullet to the face?
Yeah, because the shaitan guy is going to be like, "You little twerps."
Yeah, he's gonna be like, talk about this. Bang! Shoot.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang!
Again, the shaitan speaks up. He says, I can feel you there. Like, there's no use in hiding. Like, I know you're there, even if I can't see you with my eyes."
Oh, might as well say hello.
So, yes, I guess we are all actually very well acquainted. Even though I believe Gaal, is that your name? You may not recognize some of us.
No, I don't reckon I've ever seen a drow before. But, did you guys drop invisibility? Is that what you're saying, recognize us? Because he's not going to respond to recognizing you if you're still invisible.
I had not dropped invisibility.
Okay, so he's just like, "I couldn't say if I recognize you or not, because I can't see you. I can hear you, I know you're there, but I can't see you."
Unfortunately, I do not have the ability to drop my invisibility, but we are here, and rather not pick a fight with you lovely chaps if we can avoid it.
All right, well, I suppose that's up to you. Again, I can't see you, so I don't really know what's going on, but you got business in the barracks there, or?
Just business in the Citadel in general. You know, just trying to figure out all about why this area of Earthen Plain is going to be teleported on top of Gnaya and destroy it all. Just perusing.
I'm sorry. Say what again?
They probably haven't told everybody about
Did
the
your
plan.
hired help not tell you?
He turns to Shakib and he's just like, say what again? And Shakib's like, he shrugs and says, I don't know what they're talking about any more than you do.
If I have your word, can we have a polite conversation? I really prefer not to come to blows.
Let's see, that's an interesting thing to say. You see, I don't know if I really trust your word any more than you'd trust my word. And if you're saying that you recognize me, even if I can't say for sure that I recognize you, then there's only a few people that I've ever met in my life that weren't on my side and stayed not on my side after meeting them. So it makes me feel like we're probably not allies.
Not when we first met, but it doesn't mean we couldn't necessarily patch things up now.
Don't know that I've ever patched things up with anyone in my life.
Well, you are still a hired gun, aren't you?
Supposing that's true. Why?
Well, I suppose maybe we could pay you to just loaf around? Or I suppose you can follow us and help dismantle the Legion, but your choice, I suppose.
Oh man, that would be a very tall order. I do not know if you'd have the cash for such a request.
Well, we have cash potentially and our word. Maybe that will help negotiate a price and just turn a blind's eye. Money in your pocket for doing nothing. That sounds good to me.
He kind of looks over at Shakib. Shakib shrugs again. And he's like, well, I suppose that's not too bad of an idea. Since I can't see you, I can't verify or confirm that you're any sort of target that I've been hired to go after. If a bag of money just showed up on the ground, who's to say, you know?
What if I say the last time that we saw you, you may or may not have dismantled my friend's face and he returned back to life and almost blasted you to death with a lightning bolt? Does that ring a bell?
So anyway, he started blasting.
First offers plausible deniability and then says, yeah, but actually just wants you to remember, we almost killed you.
So yeah, that does ring a bell. I'm now confused on what it is exactly you're asking here. Do you want me to know who you are, or do you want me to pretend to not know who you are?
Just a simple country hobgoblin. Spell it out for me, boy.
Because I thought I wasn't supposed to know and was supposed to turn a blind eye. Now you're telling me who you are, though.
It is kind of funny. It is a little...
Well, I was just saying, I mean, you just don't have to provide information. I mean, we wanted to go through...
And why did you give me the information?
Jessup's all flustered. He's too honest for his own good.
Right.
Well, we were just going through and checking all the rooms, and so we were just wanted to go into the room that that nice fancy golem was guarding, and then you two came out. So now I'm kind of stuck here with not knowing what to do.
Yeah, you see, you kind of caught us in the middle of a game of cards. So anyways, cycling back, again, if a bag of cash were to appear on the ground big enough, then I could maybe get distracted. But again, you're just confusing me with your approach here, so...
Okay. Well, to backtrack further, I will just say that did Xerxes, or leading by that Xanathar, explain that they are going to teleport this here plane of existence that we're on, and literally land on top of Grenaria and destroy all the inner sea life as we know it?
Yeah, you see, you're saying a whole lot of things that I don't really... I'm not privy to all the upper management stuff here. What you're saying certainly sounds pretty crazy in such a degree that I don't really know if I necessarily buy it or why you're telling me. Are you trying to, like, shake allegiances here or something?
Is it working?
Well, I'm just confused more than anything, if I'm being honest. I don't really quite care what's going on around here as long as I get paid at the end of the day. If you're talking about destroying the Galarian, then, I mean, frankly, there's other planes that I can do business. Ain't that right, Shekid? And The Shaitan nods and he says, like I said, you win the game of cards, then I'll introduce you to some very fine friends on the plane of Earth. He says, yeah, you see, I think I'm just set.
Well, that's too bad. So the, lump of sum of gold that just lands at your feet wouldn't appease you at all?
Oh, it will appease me for a few minutes. And if the people who aren't supposed to be here happen to not be here in a few minutes after I finish counting all the coin in that bag, beyond that, I don't frankly care.
Okay. Not really sure what to do, so Jessup will just start rummaging through some of his satchel here.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't really have any money left unless Jessup has some money, so...
27,000.
Okay, that'll do.
Oh.
I don't know how much he's going to want.
You've been holding out on us, boy!
Oh, yeah, because
27,000, and that's in gold?
Josh is like, I don't even know what that looks like because I'm wearing 27,000.
Hold up. I was like, why is Josh being indignant here? Last time we needed party funds, Josh was like, I got nothing for you. I don't know what to do. I got nothing for you. I spent all my gold. I can't help you.
I was trying to figure out what to spend my gold on, and then Jason knows so nonchalantly, just like, hey, maybe you guys want to keep some of your gold. So then I literally spent like none of my gold.
I'm not indignant. I'm just surprised he wasn't tempted to like get a few diamonds for the road, or anything.
And ever since, Jessup has been buying his way out of combats left and right.
I'm going to say, so I guess Jessup will just get a pouch and fill it up with some gold and just kind of toss it, see where it goes.
Okay. How much gold are you putting in there?
I don't know. Just saying, out of curiosity, what is a sum of gold that would be worth counting?
All right. I guess I'll play along with this.
I'm just trying not to insult you.
It would probably take me quite a while to count out 5,000 gold.
Well, that's easy enough.
Just bear in mind, we are on a timer with our buffs, so like...
Okay. Well, you can talk. You can speak if you prefer.
Kieran, we'll just start slowly walking down the hallway.
Jessup tosses the 5k gold in Kieran's square.
Okay.
Kieran's square hits Kieran with the bag of gold, turning him invisible.
I just love it. It's just so good. I love this scenario. The way it's played out.
You toss, you toss the bag of gold. It bounces off of Kieran's abs onto the floor.
Ah, yes.
And you guys begin to like slowly back away, and Ka'al goes and picks it up, and he turns around, and you can kind of hear him out in the distance. He says, I don't really know what just happened there, but I think I'm going to be able to increase our bet a little bit. And then they both go back into the room, and the golem just stands there. So that leaves you with 2 stairs going down, 1 stair going up with some guards at it. What would you like to do?
Sorry, I kind of froze. I didn't really expect that to happen.
I mean, it's fine. You didn't hear me saying anything. I don't know what to say to them. I don't want that guy pointing his boomstick at my face again, so...
I'm sorry, I might be putting words in your mouth, but I just felt like you were judging me fairly harshly back there.
I felt your eyes on me.
I have echolocation, but I felt your eyes staring at me.
Player knowledge and banter results in in-world projection and insecurity.
Is Gideon back there accounting with him?
No, he's
Gideon's like, I'll take a couple of these. I've had my eye on a pair of boots.
I've been wanting me some gold for a while now.
You can't have just one pair of boots.
I kind of miss him, but I'm really glad Frampton's not here because he totally would have like, oh, cards, huh?
Cards, you say? Oh, yeah. I'm going to play cards. You guys got this.
Not going to lie, I very much was recently I played a cowboy, and he would have hopped in for a game of cards for sure. He would have bet his soul. It would have been fun.
All right, so yeah, I think we're going to try to sneak around these guys. And if it comes to blows, at least it was self-defense.
Thank God we at least lost 5,000 gold before we went this way. I'm just kidding.
I don't think... how much of that did you lose, Gideon?
But also, Josh, we would have lost the knowledge of what was down there. So I regret nothing.
You can't replace that.
I basically just paid for Kieran's resurrection that he would have had.
Yeah.
Even then some. And then no other negative levels or anything.
So you're going to want rolls from us?
Yeah, so a couple things. So one, for further clarity on all of this, because our conversation before, there was a lot that went on, and so like I didn't cover every single piece of information that could have possibly been given. But in terms of the third floor, the Noxel would have informed you that the main entrance to the third floor is guarded by Aslo and his cronies, but that this, where you're going, he would confirm is another way to the third floor. However, it does go through this lookout area, and it goes through the barracks, which he would confirm are actually manned. So he says you could sneak past them. So those are the two options. There's basically going through Aslo or going through these two encounters.
Where's Aslo?
On the main entrance, you don't know where that entrance is. This is the first entrance to the third floor that you found. But given his description of how you have to kind of go everywhere to get anywhere, you imagine you probably have to go to like the first floor to get to the second floor to get to the third floor. But this would just take you straight to the third floor.
Oh, that would be some wacky design. If you had to go down to the first floor to get up to a direct staircase to the third floor.
To be fair, you did get to the second floor in a manner that you would not normally get to if you were starting at the first floor. Like if you had started at the first floor,
You'd be coming up one of these areas.
yeah, you'd be coming up a different way. But yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that so that you weren't confused.
So we're not going to fight the big bad guy. We're just hopefully sneaking past all these dudes.
Yeah, Aslo is not in the ballista room that you are heading to. It is just other creatures that are manning it. So you just have to sneak past them or fight them, sort of a deal. So as you're coming through here, you would have to roll stealth checks to avoid being noticed by the lookouts here.
Okay.
No problem. 38.
43.
32.
So the highest one that I rolled is that number plus that number plus 4 for favored enemy against dwarves, elves, and humans. Would get us to, what is that? 13 plus 14 plus 4 is 31?
Haha, I succeeded.
All right. So you begin sneaking past them, and Gideon does make enough noise for the one in green here to turn around and start looking in your guys' directions. And he makes a comment to the others. Did you guys just hear something behind us? The others kind of look around.
Kieran whispers, no.
No.
And Hobgoblin.
They're like they turn around and they're like, I don't see anything. Why? Make another stealth check as you can either stay completely still at this very moment, or you can continue to sneak by.
How long will we have to stay perfectly still?
I'm asking because the one, he says, give me a second, I'll check it out. You go down the hallway, I'll see. So red starts moving forward. Green starts moving this way towards the stairs. Anything anybody's doing?
I guess while they're moving this way, no, I'm not gonna. I'll just stand still.
Okay. Make another stealth check, everyone. I think technically you get a higher bonus if you're not
Isn't it
moving.
plus 40 if you're not moving?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. There's a 44.
Okay.
64.
That is a great roll. Add another 20 to that. That is a 58.
Okay.
And mine is a 61.
Okay. So since you're completely still and invisible, they kind of keep walking a little bit. He kind of walks all the way down here and checks.
Right
sees
by
that,
ya. It's
he
so
sees
good.
that both of the doors are closed. He says, "It's weird." Turns around, starts making his way back.
Nice one. What's the
What's
way?
with the wind?
Luckily, you guys were positioned in such a way that he could make that straight line without hitting anyone. Green kind of walks up here. He goes up the steps a little bit, and then you hear him call out above, and he says, any of you guys up there, did you need us for anything? And you hear a voice from up there be like, no, why? He says, nothing, forget about it. And he takes like another step forward, but doesn't see anything, and he turns and also goes straight back.
I was holding my breath.
Stealth check.
Oh, what check do you need?
I think, yeah.
If you guys want to continue up, you will need another stealth check. This time at the normal bonus, because you'll be moving.
Okay.
I don't know, though.
What?
I'll just...
We're gonna have to do one regardless, right? Like regardless if we go
No,
up
no,
or
I
go
know.
back.
We'll keep going. I just...
It's like I'm just gonna stand still the whole time.
34.
I was thinking that because they shouted up there that if we get up top and fail, we're going to get in combat, and then these guys are going to run up because if they could hear it from shouting, they're going to hear us fighting.
See, I told you, should have shoved them off the edge. Should have pushed them.
That's why I was wondering, is like, do we just fight these guys and then have them come down to us versus whatever? But I mean, we could. That's metagamey, so whatever you guys do. I can't. I mean, literally, because I could see what Kieran's doing from my echolocation. I'll just follow what Kieran does.
Are these three the most recent stealth checks?
Yeah, mine's
Okay.
a 34.
Okay, 41, 34, 31. Let me roll these guys. Ooh, he rolled really well.
Oh, no.
Well, just know we'll be further away than where our
48.
tokens are right now. Should progress a little.
Yeah.
I know I'm on fire with my stealth checks, and I do my knowledge rolls, and they're crap.
They're only crap when you compare them to what they could be for you. If you compare them to my knowledge rolls, they're really good.
Not really.
All right, so this time you guys start making your way up. You get, so like Gideon and Oran would be kind of like off the map, and Jessup would be on his way up. And you would hear behind you, one of them turns around and says,
I swear I heard something.
Must have been the wind.
by the time they turn around and start making a more thorough investigation, you guys will have been on the next map. So I'm going to move you there for now. So you guys would be over here.
Ah, more ballista.
Oh, that tent is still following me.
Oh, see, guys, we could have saved so much time if we had just scaled the wall.
Yeah.
There is a climb DC for the tower.
Oh my.
It's probably obnoxious.
Yeah, I think I have like a -8 on my
That
climb.
would not succeed.
If we had just dimension doored from this ballista room, we could have just bamfed over here.
Sorry, -6 on my climb. Would have went well.
That would have been really funny, but we don't know how many people are here.
Yeah, so as you get up here, you make it up to the top here, and I imagine you kind of keep going a little bit because you realize that you've set off the alarm for them again. You see one of those lookouts actually comes all the way up the stairs at this point, and up here there are 4 creatures that you can see, 2 per ballista. They're just kind of lazing around. One of them is maybe actually paying attention to what he's supposed to be doing. The other 3 are just kind of goofing off. But that lookout from below comes to the top of the stairs and kind of calls over and he says, I swear I hear that one of you guys are making noises up here. What's going on? And this guy comes over and like you can see that he's talking to him and he just says, I don't know what you're talking about. The 3 of them have been goofing off this whole time. Maybe that's what you're hearing. He says, something like armor. Maybe you're hearing the echoes from the forge. It's like, I don't know. So it just feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I want to keep your eye out. Something seems off. And he turns and goes back down, and the guy's like, all right. Goes back over here to the others. And you can hear them kind of talking to each other.
And we have to just do a series of stealth checks to the end of the door, right? There's no other real path.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, there is so I'll kind of give you a little bit of a description of this room here. You can see that this like low balustrade skirts the northeastern arc of this 3rd level here, and it's just a wide balcony that overlooks much of the entirety of this vault of the Onyx Citadel, overlooking basically anybody who would try to come through the main bridge. And you guys can't see because you're so far back, but if you were to get closer to the edge, you would actually see some huge creature standing in the middle of the bridge that would be leading here. Some construct creature with like 4 arms, each carrying a different weapon. What would you like to do?
Sneak.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I want to be really quiet while I'm doing it.
Yeah, roll.
Won't be suspicious that those doors are going to open at the end of the hallway, but let's do it.
Suspicious?
All right, roll a stealth check.
Oh, Oran's very sure of himself over there with those rules.
28.
Did Jessup have a counter choice? Like, are we just gonna jump to violence? What's the deal?
What's that?
Did Jessup want to do something different?
No, I was just joking that you made it all the way over there in one stealth check.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, we only have to do one stealth check? I mean, I'm not complaining.
Be a 39 for Jessup.
That's a 26.
So we got a 22 from Gideon, a 26 from Oran, a 39 from Jessup, and a 28 from Kieran. So we'll move you guys to where you would have gotten with that check.
Hugging the wall if it matters.
And let me roll my rolls here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my word. I'll just tell you the raw rolls I did there. First guy got a 17 on the die. Next guy got a 16 on the die. Next guy got a natural 20, and then this guy got a 3. So he has no idea what's going on. But as you guys are walking along, the three of them kind of turn and it's just like, you heard that, right? He says, yeah, I did. The lookouts from below said that they heard something weird. I don't see anything. You? He says, no. Want me to just bomb it? He says, do you want to like just try like a see invisibility or a blind, an echolocation, something like that first? And he says, I mean, I got more bombs than I've got extracts. Just I mean, if you want to bomb it, then bomb it.
I feel like we need to just like attack.
Well, I was just about to type it. I think as soon as they start talking about that, Jessup is like nudging Kieran from behind, like just cast something.
Can I go right here and just lightning bolt in a line?
Well, what I'm basically role playing up the fact that we are about to start initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be back here. Okay.
Yeah. So everybody is gonna have to roll an initiative check.
We didn't have any Do we have any initiative bonuses right now?
Yes. Hunter's Blessing should give you one because I chose Goblin and we're inside enough.
Ooh, that's rare for Oran.
I'm gonna expend my heightened awareness to get a +4 to this check.
Oh gosh, a natural 2. That is terrible.
31.
Gosh.
All right. So Kieran, we're getting a 31. Jessup got a 15. Gideon got a 23. Oran got a 19. We'll sort this. And I think we will pick it up with this battle next week.